and on Friday, mostly sunny, 31 and 17. Right now, it's 6:11 in the morning. It's 5 degrees. Wind chill feels like 5 below. It's Joe Show time. Let's rock and roll.
Say, look at JoJo.
Good morning to you, Danville and Boyle County. It's time for the Joe Show on 103.9 FM, WHIR Danville. All right, folks, Tuesday, the 21st day of January, and today here on the Joe Show, on this Tuesday morning, we celebrate National Hugging Day. Whether someone would prefer you hug them, a heart-to-heart hug, a bear hug, a cheek hug, a side hug, there are benefits to sharing the love. Scientific studies have demonstrated that hugs can lower blood pressure, trigger the release of healthy hormones, and relieve stress. Doctors recommend a minimum of 4 to 6 hugs per day for emotional and psychological well-being. Nick Vujicic broke the record for the most hugs given in 1 hour by an individual by hugging 1,749 people at an expo center in Oregon in 2010. While you're at it, you can read up on Nick Vujicic, the National Hugging Champion. Today, National Hugging Day, on this Tuesday, the 21st day of January, right here on The Joe Show. 859-238-WHIR is your phone number to call in this morning. The National Anthem comes your way right now. It's brought to you by Bob Allen Motor Mall and the Hometown Radio Network.
The Bob Allen Motor Mall and Hometown Radio Network proudly honor America with the playing of our National Anthem.
Bob Allen Motor Mall, Hometown Radio Network, teaming up every morning to honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Phone number this morning to call in is 859-238-WHIR. That's 238-9447 for birthdays and for anniversaries here on the show as we celebrate birthdays on this Tuesday morning, January the 21st. Cue up the music, please, and let's do a little birthday party celebrating on this Tuesday morning. It is a short list of birthday names today. We've got 2 names for you. Happy birthday, first of all, 36 years old today for Cody Christopher. Having a birthday today. Cody Christopher, 36 years old. And McCallum Morley is 26 years old. McCallum, a long time ago, well, not that long, 8-9 years ago or so, used to do some interning with us. He was a student at Danville High School, and he would come up for some of the football games and do little radio segments for us and things like that. So happy 26th birthday today to McCallum Morley. Happy 36th birthday today to Cody Christopher, who is the Mercer County head baseball coach. Really good coach. And I hope he has a great day today, celebrating his birthday. And same thing for McCallum. Call him in. Get your B-Days on the radio this morning here on WHIR Danville. It's a Tuesday. It's the 21st day of January, 012125 on your calendar. Typical Tuesday morning show we have lined up for you. First guest is on here this morning at 7:20. That's Danville boys basketball coach Tristan Ford, who joins the show. And we'll talk Admiral basketball. We actually have Danville tonight. They are hosting Garrett County in a girl-boy doubleheader at Danville. And we'll have the play-by-play call for that one for you tonight. 6 o'clock for the girls' game. The boys' game will follow that around 7:30-ish or so. And we'll have Coach Tristan Ford on here talking about tonight's game. That'll be at 7:20 this morning. 7:40 County Agents Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market. Jessica Besson going to give us a lesson this morning from the Mercer County Extension Office this week, and we'll see what Jessica's got going on. That'll be at 7:40 this morning. In the 8 o'clock in the morning hour this morning, 8:10, we have Colleen, Boyle County Public Library on here. 8:20, we've got Randyisms, Randy Graham, the thoughts of Randy Graham and Randy Graham's thoughts, Tuesdays and Thursdays. That'll be at 8:20 this morning. James the Gardener's on here at 8:40 this morning with Gardening with James. In the 9 o'clock in the morning hour, 9:10, we usually have Dusty, but Dusty texted me yesterday, said he had to go to his big boy job today. So no Dusty today. We'll skip over that segment and get him on Friday morning at about 8:10 or so Friday morning. And at 9:35, it's a Tuesday with Stiff. Either Ann Yeager or Mary Stiff Hamlin will join the show this morning at 9:35 for a Stiff Funeral Home segment this morning here on The Joe Show. We'd love to have you on. 859-238. WHIR is the number to call in. Good morning to you, Danville and Boyle County. You are tuned in to The Joe Show. We've got sports coming your way next. Those Ohio State Buckeyes did it again. We'll talk about it right now. Ohio State wins the college football championship. Cooper Kupp addresses an uncertain future, and the Bears have their head coach. Those are the headlines on this Tuesday morning. I'm Joe Mathis, guiding you through these Tuesday morning sports, starting off in college football, where Ohio State scored on its first 5 possessions and beat Notre Dame 34-23 in the college football championship game to complete a remarkable run through the inaugural 12-team tournament. The national championship is Ohio State's first since 2014 and 9th overall, less than 2 months after hitting the lowest point of Coach Ryan Day's tenure. With another rivalry loss to Michigan, the Buckeyes find themselves back atop the bowl subdivision thanks to near-perfect quarterback play, a series of explosive gains on offense, and a run defense that controlled the line of scrimmage after a slow start. The star was quarterback Will Howard, a senior transfer from Kansas State who had one of the most efficient performances by a passer in title game history. He set a playoff record with 13 completions in a row to open the game, not throwing an incompletion until missing running back Trayvon Henderson on a swing pass with just over a minute to go in the first half. Playing against the nation's second-best pass defense in yards allowed per game, he went 17 for 21 for 231 yards and 2 touchdowns, along with 57 yards on 16 carries. Another headliner was Ohio State running back Quinshon Judkins, a transfer from Ole Miss who had 100 rushing yards, 21 receiving yards, and 3 combined touchdowns. Freshman wide receiver Jeremiah Smith had 88 yards and a score. Defensive lineman J.T. Tuamalo had 5 tackles, 2 for loss, and a sack. In halftime of that game, President Donald Trump, hours after his inauguration, appeared in a pre-tape video shown on ESPN during Monday night's College Football Playoff National Championship. During halftime of Ohio State versus Notre Dame, ESPN cut away from its halftime show coverage to air a video message from Trump. He made a lengthy political statement surrounding his first day in office before talking about the title game. Quote, "To all the players and fans watching tonight, I know it's been a long and difficult journey. It's been a long season, but you have 2 tremendous teams, and getting into the game and go out and fight hard and fight fair and let the better team win, and I'm going to enjoy watching it. Thank you and good night." In the National Football League, LA Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp is certain that he's going to play football next season. He just isn't so sure if it's going to be for the Rams. The wide receiver has 2 years remaining on his contract. LA would save $7.5 million against the 2025 5 cap if Kupp is pre-June 1st cut. Kupp's name circulated around this year's NFL trade deadline as a possible player who could be on the move, but Rams head coach Sean McVay shot down Kupp trade rumors in October. He missed 4 games after injuring his ankle in Week 2. He was also inactive in Week 18 when the Rams elected to rest him. And staying in the NFL, the Bears are raiding one of the NFC North rivals to fill their coaching vacancy. The Bears are finalizing a deal to hire Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson as their new head coach. Johnson, who's 38, had been one of the most coveted coaching candidates on the market after withdrawing from consideration for other positions in the last 2 off seasons. He interviewed with the Bears last Saturday and also met with the Las Vegas Raiders, Jacksonville Jaguars, and New England Patriots for their vacancies. But when the Lions lost to the Commanders in the divisional round on Saturday, Johnson was free to join any team. He joined the Bears. Those are the headlines on this Tuesday morning. I'm Joe Mathis for the Hometown Radio Network.
Did you know that WHIR AM 1230 is the talk of the town? We're not spreading gossip. We're just letting you know where the best talk radio is found all day, every day. Mornings begin with Danville's own Joe Mathis and The Joe Show.
Hey, this is Joe Mathis.
Wake up to what you missed. News, weather, sports, and local guests. Followed by Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio. I'm Matt Jones.
Then, the man who has an opinion about everything, Tomas Mauricio.
I'm Tomas Mauricio. I invite you to tune in.
Starting at noon with Advocates for America. Then at 3, it's the best-known name in news, Sean Hannity.
Join me, Sean Hannity, on WHIR.
Then, Joe Pag starts off weekday evenings at 6 with his take on the day's news, mixed with his fun parody songs about the news.
Hey, it's Joe Pag on WHIR.
Afterwards, at 10, it's the unique world of John B. Wells on WHIR with his Caravan to Midnight show.
This is John B. Wells, WHIR, AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
These guys have a lot to say, and they'll be glad to have you join them every weekday on your home for news, talk, sports. AM 1230, WHIR, the talk of the town.
Boyle County's our home, so let's keep it clean.
Thank you, Boyle Countyans, for helping keep Boyle County clean. Don't throw your trash out of your car. Keep it inside till you can dispose of it properly by bringing your plastic water bottles, soda bottles, and energy drink bottles to one of the Boyle County convenience centers for recycling. Let's keep Boyle County looking beautiful today and tomorrow. Please cover those loads when going to the convenience centers.
Boyle County's our home, so let's keep it clean.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jack, appreciate that, old buddy. And brought to you by All Together Recovery Center in Danville. Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. All Together Recovery Center is now open. A chance of flurries today before 3 o'clock this afternoon. A high today of 19, a low tonight of 1 below 0. Wind chill values in the negatives right now. Tomorrow, mostly clear. You get 27 as a high. Wind chill values, again, 3 below 0. Thursday, mostly sunny. Finally get over those wind chills. 34 is the high. And Friday, chance of flurries, mostly sunny, and 31 is your high. Right now, it's 6:24 in the morning. It is 5 degrees. Wind chill feels like 5 below 0 here in Danville. 859-238-WHIR to call in. Let's take a look at celebrity birthdays on this January the 21st. Starting off on this date 69 years ago, where actress Gina Davis was born. She was in the movies The Fly, Beetlejuice, A League of Their Own, Thelma and Louise, and Grey's Anatomy on TV as well. Beetlejuice, 69 years old today. Gina Davis, here's a clip from Beetlejuice.
Just, can you give me the basics?
This book isn't arranged that way. What do you want to know?
Well, why did you disappear when you stepped off the porch? Are we halfway to heaven? Are we halfway to hell? And how long is this going to last?
Gina Davis, 69 years old today. Golf legend Jack Nicklaus is 85, widely regarded as the greatest golfer of all time. He's won a total of 18 career major championships, as well as 19 second place and 9 third place finishes over a span of 25 years. Jack Nicklaus, 85 years old today. The late Civil War Confederate commander Thomas Stonewall Jackson would have had a birthday today. Jackson was mistaken for an enemy and shot by his own men as he returned to camp after the Battle of Chancellorsville. Stonewall Jackson would have been, 101 years old, looks like. 201 years old. And the late DJ Wolfman Jack would have been 87 years old today. Born Robert Weston Smith, he was famous for his gravelly voice that he credited to a couple shots of whiskey with assisting. DJ Wolfman Jack, born on this day, 1935, would have been 87 years old today. Celebrity birthdays on this Tuesday, the 21st day of January, folks.
In country music.
All right then, Mr. Voice. It was on this day, country music history, looking back at the year 1942, where Mac Davis was born. Country music singer, songwriter, and actor. His early work writing for Elvis Presley produced multiple #1 hits, also had some #1s as a singer as well. It was on this day, 1987, where Dwight Yoakam was awarded his first gold album for his debut album called Guitars, Cadillacs, etc., etc. And it was on this day, 2006, Carrie Underwood was at #1 on the country charts for the first 6 weeks of 2006 with the song Jesus Take the Wheel. And that's what's gone on this date, January 21st, in country music history. Starting off on this date back in 1942, where the great Mac Davis was born.
Don't start clinging to me, girl, 'cause I can't breathe. Baby, baby, don't get hooked on me.
There you go, Mac Davis, Baby, Baby, Don't Get Hooked on Me. He wrote #1s for Elvis, Memories in the Ghetto, and the latently popular A Little Less Conversation. He died at the age of 78 in September of 2020 following heart surgery. Mac Davis, born on this day, 1942. It was on this day, country music history, 1987, where Dwight Yoakam awarded his first gold album with Guitars and Cadillacs.
Guitars, Cadillacs, hillbilly music, lonely streets I call home.
Yeah, Guitars, Cadillacs, etc., etc. The album featured his first 3 hits. The title track, Guitars and Cadillacs, Honky Tonk Man and It Won't Hurt. Dwight Yoakam on this day, 1987, awarded his first gold album. Take it away, Dwight. And it was on this day, country music history 2006, where Carrie Underwood at #1 on the country charts for the first 6 weeks with this one.
Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hands, 'cause I can't do
Yeah, Carrie Underwood actually performed at the inauguration yesterday. I didn't see it, but apparently she had to go a cappella or something because there was a equipment malfunction. She got a good enough voice to sing a cappella, got a great voice. Carrie Underwood later that year reported Jesus Take the Wheel. Reports show that it sold more than 1 million ringtones. Wow. Jesus Take the Wheel on this date, 2006, went #1 for Carrie Underwood. There you go, Carrie Underwood. Mac Davis, Dwight Yoakam have made their mark on this date, January the 21st, in country music history. It's 6:30 in the morning. We've got Kentucky News Network bottom hour news coming your way right now.
is the Kentucky News Network.
Cold weather advisories remain in effect across the entire state of Kentucky, as negative wind chills could lead to hypothermia if precautions are not taken. This is after snow moved through parts of the state on Sunday. As another round of winter weather and extreme cold keeps Kentucky Transportation Cabinet road crews busy across the Commonwealth. Scott County Director of Roads and Maintenance J.R. Brandenburg had 16 crews on the roads combating Sunday morning snowfall, but there's still concerns with the refreezing of roads this week.
There's no doubt in the next couple of days we will have to be salting icy spots from the runoff. That's just part of this time of year in Kentucky.
Officials say that road crews are doing their best to prepare for the icy roads, but drivers need to be prepared for the challenging road conditions as well. Arctic air and 1 to 3 inches of snow fell Sunday, with higher amounts in northeast and southeastern Kentucky. Crews have been treating and plowing to address area conditions. Drivers can get the latest info for their area at the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet website, transportation.ky.gov. Moments before he left office, President Joe Biden pardoned the former chairman of the state Democratic Party.
Jerry Lundergan was among several people receiving presidential pardons on Inauguration Day. Lundergan was convicted of providing illegal corporate campaign contributions to his daughter Allison Lundergan Grimes' failed 2014 U.S. Senate campaign. Lundergan was convicted in 2019 and was sentenced to 21 months in prison. He was released from custody without serving his full sentence, having suffered a debilitating stroke. The Biden administration says the 77-year-old Lundergan has demonstrated remorse. Lundergan served in the Kentucky House of Representatives in the 1980s and was chairman of the Kentucky Democratic Party on 2 occasions. I'm Jack Crumley.
And I'm Lee Mowen.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Serving Boyle County seniors.
At A Gathering Place, we promote independence for senior citizens and adults with special needs through social, recreational, nutritional, and wellness programs that enhance quality of life. The activities that we offer are designed to keep seniors active and involved, offer socialization, promote friendship, encourage mental fitness, and positively impact overall health and wellness. To find out more, visit us at agatheringplace.org or follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Kentucky has one of the most expansive state park systems in the nation. For decades, the parks have been bringing people together for family reunions, fishing, hiking, and a wealth of other activities. What's your favorite memory of a Kentucky state park? Unfortunately, it takes more than governmental support to keep the parks vibrant. The Kentucky State Parks Foundation raises money to create educational programs for elementary school kids to connect them with nature, handicappable hiking trails, and the preservation of historical artifacts. Make a tax-deductible donation online at KentuckyStateParksFoundation.org.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Temperatures near 0 degrees and sub-zero wind chills. Those numbers have again allowed Boyle County Emergency Management Agency to open a warming shelter. It will be where it was the last few rounds, at A Gathering Place on Jean Drive. The hope is to keep the warming shelter open through Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. However, volunteers will be needed for 4-hour shifts. If you can volunteer some time, you can sign up for a time slot by going to the City of Danville Facebook page and following the link. The Mercer County Fire Protection District is raising taxes, with Chief Glenn Phillips saying that it is a, quote, have-to case. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the Mercer Fire District is raising their tax rate from 80 cents per $1,000 in assessed value to $1 per $1,000. Simple math, for property valued at $100,000, it would raise that owner's property tax bill from $80 to $100. Phillips says that anything attached to the fire department is doubling in price. For example, a tanker that was purchased in 2020 for $250,000 now costs about $470,000. He said emission standards have also changed, and that adds another $80,000 in cost as well. The Mercer County Sanitation District says they're working on the Gwen Island Road project. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the project was started last March when the Sanitation District received more than $2.2 million in funding from the EPA's Sewer Overflow and Stormwater Rescue Municipal Grant Program. That project will eliminate 129 residential septic systems, 6 holding tanks, and create 2 new pump stations on Harrington Lake. However, a year since the funding was announced and the bidding for the project hasn't even begun. Executive Director of the Mercer County Sanitation District, Mike Sanford, said the holdup is because of easements. The project must be finished by 2026. And the Danville Police Department released their year-end numbers for 2024. Those numbers show they responded to more than 16,000 events last year alone. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jack, and I appreciate that, old buddy, old pal. Brought to you by our friends over at Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at Danville Auto Body Shop, 315 Delahaye Street. Call ahead, and they'd love to talk to you. They do work on water leaks, window motor repairs, hail damage, and paintless dent repair. Chance flurries and a high today of about 19, 20 or so. Low tonight of 1 below 0. Tomorrow, increasing clouds. High of 27. Wind chill at 3 below 0 tomorrow. Thursday, mostly sunny. 34 and 17 is the high and low. Right now, it's 6:37 in the morning. 5 degrees. The wind chill is at 5 below 0. Larry Vought's got Vought's Views for you today. What's going on with you, Larry?
Vought's Views on University of Kentucky Sports is on the air. Featuring 7-time Kentucky Sports Writer of the Year, Larry Vaught.
I really don't think there's any way that even as good as Coach Kenny Brooks has been this year, that he can adequately replace point guard Georgia Amore next season. She was an All-American at Virginia Tech before transferring to Kentucky, where even Brooks admits she's been better than ever before. Not only is she a prolific shot maker, but she has a way of making everyone else on the court with her better, and very, very few players have the ability to do that. My guess is that if Brooks could do it, he would give Minnesota high school star Madden Greenway a chance to take over at point guard next season. However, there's only one problem. Madden Greenway is a 5-star prospect and top 15 player in her recruiting class, but she is only a junior and will still be in high school next season. But just know, when the 5'8 Greenway does get to Kentucky, she certainly seems like she could be very, very special also.
Vought's Views will return in a moment.
It's time for a crop nutrition plan that gets more return from every drop. Starting with Pro Germinator from AgriLiquid, a complete phosphorus fertilizer product that includes nitrogen, potassium, and iron. More than 30 years of research shows that lower application rates of Pro Germinator often outperform other sources of fertilizer. With AgriLiquid's Pro Germinator, you can apply less and expect more. Find out more at agriliquid.com.
It's only midway of her junior season, and Madden Greenway has already amassed 3,811 career points, along with 847 assists, 845 rebounds, and 553 steals. She is averaging 31 points per game and shooting 52% overall and 40% from 3. So keep enjoying Georgia Amore, but know in 2 years, Kenny Brooks should again have an elite point guard at Kentucky.
Find more from Larry at yoursportsedge.com.
Larry Vought's Views, Mondays through Fridays right here on The Joe Show at this time on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. Hey, President Donald Trump, we can officially now call him President. Donald Trump announced a slew of executive actions during his inauguration speech yesterday, and there may be even more than that. Take a listen in to Trump's executive orders that he issued yesterday.
My fellow Americans, as your president, I, Donald Trump, have several executive actions planned, not just the ones I've already mentioned. I have more, even better executive actions coming. The Super Bowl will now be played at Mar-a-Lago every single year. It's going to be amazing. My son, Barron, will also be appointed to my cabinet. He will be the secretary of grabbing stuff that is on too high of a shelf for me to reach. He's a big kid, that I can tell you. Also, I'll be renaming Mount Rushmore. It will now be called Mount Trumpmore, and I'll be chiseling all of the faces off and replacing them with 4 of my faces. So beautiful. And finally, Elon Musk will be assisting me in opening the first golf resort on Mars. Get ready for Mars A Lago. Beautiful. Thank you. Tremendous.
A couple of things from the inauguration yesterday. First of all, Barron Trump is a big old dude. He said he's a big boy. He should be playing ball somewhere. That kid is big. And that was one thing that caught my eye. There was something else, I've already forgotten it. But I couldn't get over how big Barron Trump was, just sitting there towering over everybody. So President Trump yesterday inaugurated. Rebecca was busy doing stuff yesterday, and I think she went to the movies is where she went yesterday with some family, with her sister, actually, and brother-in-law and their kids, and brought the kids back home. They went and ate at Chick-fil-A, brought the kids back home, and turned the computer on and was like, this inauguration's still going on? It's like, Rebecca, this is the inauguration of the president. What do you think, it's like an hour? Yeah, we got a strict time. It's from noon to 1. Sorry, we got to get the daytime soaps back on. This is going to be an all-day long thing. I mean, they got balls all day long. You heard Tom Tye yesterday say they had like 15 balls yesterday that the president had planned to attend, or like he was going to attend some of them. But, so President Donald Trump, a slew of executive actions in terms of things that he actually did announce yesterday, renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and renaming Mount Denali to Mount McKinley. That's the mountain in Alaska. Obama renamed it Mount Denali in 2015, and so Mount McKinley is so back, named after William McKinley, who was an expansionist president. And Donald Trump renames it after him again, Mount McKinley there in Alaska. All right, let's see what's going on in this morning's world of absolute good. Are you tired of the gloom and doom that saturates your daily news? Well, of course you are, and I'm right there with you. These stories remind us of the silver lining in the cloud over all of our heads. It's my way of sharing the good news with you, and hopefully you'll go do the same for somebody else. Here's Floyd Kramer. Little good news action for you on this Tuesday morning, and here we go. Story number 1 coming from Utah, where firefighters from Salt Lake City stepped in to help a homeowner in Pacific Palisades, managing to recover a wedding ring and a college ring from the rubble. Even with a widespread devastation in the area, the crew's determination paid off, giving the homeowner a small but meaningful moment of hope. The firefighters shared their gratitude for being able to help California residents, thanked their families and communities in Utah for their support, and encouraged others to support ongoing recovery efforts. A team of firefighters from Salt Lake City helped an LA homeowner sift through the ruins of his home, destroyed in the wildfire, to find a wedding ring and a class ring. Salt Lake City Fire Department Captain Scott Winkler says it's the small victories that matter.
Really, at this point, with the scope of the disaster here, it's the small victories that really matter day to day with these folks, and that's kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah, story number 2 coming from Auburn, Washington, where a semi-truck became stuck on train tracks in Auburn, Washington on Saturday, leading to a collision with an Amtrak train carrying 157 passengers. Now, fortunately, the truck's driver and passenger escaped just seconds before that train struck, and no injuries were reported among the train's passengers or crew either. The incident was caught on GPS misdirection and poor visibility is under investigation now for how this incident happened. And story number 3 coming from London, where Cumberland Community School in East London has transformed its academic performance thanks in large part to a program that bans social media and phone use during exam periods. Initially tested in 2023, the program required students to delete social media apps and hand in their phones during class time, leading to significant improvements in focus and exam results. The program, which they repeated this school year, has helped turn the school into one of the UK's top-performing schools, and they plan to continue this successful initiative in the future. The good news, test scores soar at a school where students agree to quit social media. Trucker and passenger stuck on train tracks escape seconds before a train slams into their truck. And Utah firefighters help an LA man find rings in the rubble of his home. That's what's going on in this morning's World of absolute good, folks. Floyd Kramer, take us home, buddy. It's all yours. Silliness at Sunrise is coming up next.
Safe drivers see clearly. That's why starting January 1st, 2025, a new Kentucky law requires vision screening for anyone renewing a driver's license.
Clearly, the focus is on safer roadways.
Simply bring a completed vision screening form from your vision specialist to any driver licensing regional office, or get free vision screening at the time of renewal.
To view the details, visit drive.ky.gov.
I see what you did there.
A message from Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Cars you can give a low down payment. No credit, low credit, be safe. You should call right now, stop wait.
This your man, Jay Parks, the Chrysler Lawrenceburg, 1181 bypass South Lawrenceburg, 7403442. Come on through while I make it do what it do. Deals is amazing. Round this way, 502-839-2012. It's amazing.
There's no sporting event in the world like the Daytona 500. The Great American Race tells tales of triumph,
Denny Hamlin has won the Daytona 500.
heartbreak,
Pearson's in trouble. David Pearson is broadside down the backstretch.
and produces some of the most exciting moments in racing.
At the stripe, Kevin Harvick gets it by inches.
What story will be told in 2025?
Hear the Daytona 500 on Sunday, February 16th on WHIR.
Like, it was such a mountain for me to, like, mentally get over. Just have bad thoughts creeping in my head all the time.
You know, we're looking for the best talent that's out there, whether it's short track on pavement or short track on dirt.
Mark Caro and PRN's Garage Pass.
For anyone who's worried about back taxes, has not filed tax returns, and doesn't know what to do next, stop and listen. Not filing your taxes can have severe consequences, especially in this political climate. Now that COVID is over, the IRS is getting aggressive, with politicians making all sorts of promises, especially when it comes to taxes. Hiding and not dealing with your taxes will cause you harsh legal and financial ramifications. But right now, the IRS offers forgiveness and writes off a massive amount of tax debt. The Tax Doctor offers a free service that helps people get out of IRS collections and back in good standing with the government. Take advantage of our free service. Call now to learn more. 800-393-5045. 800-393-5045. 800-393-5045. That's 800-393-5045.
Over the weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kyle Larson once again won the Chili Bowl Nationals. It was his third victory in one of our country's biggest sprint car races, and admitted on Flow Racing afterwards it was his first victory, however, back in 2020 that vaulted his career into another stratosphere.
Honestly, just, like, winning that first one, like, it was such a mountain for me to, like, mentally get over. I would put so much pressure on myself and, like, just have bad thoughts creeping in my head all the time that, like, as soon as I won that, like, I don't have any of those anymore. And I think it's really allowed me to win, you know, more big races. I think that was my first big race I won. I hadn't won a Knoxville Nationals yet. I hadn't won a Kings Royal yet. I hadn't really won a big NASCAR race yet. Obviously a championship. So, yeah, I really think that first win kind of helped me become a better, you know, more mature racer and a stronger minded racer, which helped. So, yeah, I mean, like, zero nerves at all before the race, zero nerves during the race. Just felt like I had a good plan and was able to execute.
NASCAR is moving ahead with their appeal to the Fourth Circuit in Richmond. They have to treat and pay 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports as teams that have Cup Series charters while the ongoing antitrust lawsuit plays out. NASCAR's appeal is going to be heard on May 15th, so they're hoping from that point on they will not have to pay either of those teams the millions coming from the new TV package. The one thing we know for sure, this is not going to go away anytime soon.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Another interested spectator out in Tulsa this weekend and making an appearance on Flow Racing was the Grand Marshal of the Chili Bowl, Vice Chairman at Hendrick Motorsports, Jeff Gordon.
But don't think that I'm just here as a fan watching some dirt racing. You know, we're going to keep our eyes open at all times for the next young talent to come up, the next Kyle Larson, the next Tony Stewart, whatever it may be. But, you know, we obviously made a big announcement with Corey Day recently. So it just goes to show you that, you know, we're looking for the best talent that's out there, whether it's short track on pavement or short track on dirt.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass, presented by eBay Motors.
Did you know that WHIR AM 1230 is the talk of the town? We're not spreading gossip. We're just letting you know where the best talk radio is found all day, every day. Mornings begin with Danville's own Joe Mathis and The Joe Show.
Hey, this is Joe Mathis.
Wake up to what you missed. News, weather, sports, and local guests. Followed by Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio. I'm Matt Jones.
Then, the man who has an opinion about everything, Tomas Mauricio.
I'm Tomas Mauricio. I invite you to tune in.
Starting at noon with Advocates for America. Then at 3, it's the best-known name in news, Sean Hannity.
Join me, Sean Hannity, on WHIR.
Then, Joe Pag starts off weekday evenings at 6 with his take on the day's news, mixed with his fun parody songs about the news.
Hey, it's Joe Pag on WHIR.
Afterwards, at 10, it's the unique world of John B. Wells on WHIR with his Caravan to Midnight show.
This is John B. Wells, WHIR, AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
These guys have a lot to say, and they'll be glad to have you join them every weekday on your home for news, talk, sports. AM 1230, WHIR, the talk of the town.
Hi, I'm Adam Hopkins, security officer at Farmers National Bank, and a current scam is telling people to send cash money through a crypto ATM. No bank will ever tell you to transmit money through a crypto ATM, ever. If in doubt, contact us or local authorities.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jack, appreciate that, old buddy. Brought to you by our friends over at Howard Carpenter Flooring Outlet in Harrodsburg, specializing in discount waterproof vinyl flooring, hardwood tile, and carpet remnants. Shop and save at all types of floor coverings. Howard Carpenter Flooring Outlet, 540 North College Street. Chance of flurries today, and that'll be this afternoon. High today of 19, low of 1 below zero, and the wind chill going to be obviously sub-zero as well. We'll give you that in just a second. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, 27 a high, 19 a low. Thursday, mostly sunny, 34 and 17. Friday, 31's the high. 6:53 in the morning. It's 5 degrees on this Tuesday, the 21st day of January, 012125 on your calendar. And so glad to have you on the Joe Show this morning. Our phone number is 859-238-WHIR, 238-9447. 100% hilarious. So bad they're good. Warning, these may make you cringe. It's time for everyone's sixth favorite segment right here in the Joe Show every morning. It's the Dad Joke of the Day. Here we go.
Dad Joke of the Day.
All right, the Dad Joke of the Day. I talked with someone who told me they got a pet termite. They got a pet termite. I said, really? A pet termite? That seems odd. The person said, yeah, I named it Clint. Said a pet termite named Clint. What does a pet termite named Clint do? He said, Clint eats wood. There you go. The Dad's Joke of the Day, Mondays through Fridays, right here on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports.
Welcome to the planet of the apps. Okay, now it's obvious we're not drinking enough water. I noticed where Tom Brady drinks before he starts his day. He drinks almost a gallon of water. Is that true? Anyway, maybe he has the app Drink Water Reminder. It's called Drink Water Reminder. And to get started, you select a gender, a weight. We're talking about yours, of course. And just put something in. It'll create it for you. And based on your weight and all that information and your body graphics, it starts to develop what you need and when you need it. You can choose the amount of water each time, and as a water tracker, if you're busy, you look and it gives you a reminder saying, you haven't had very much water today. You're going to get some cramps. You're not going to thank yourself. That's why you have Drink Water Reminder. And the benefits of drinking water: weight loss, healthy skin, reduced fatigue, diseases, on and on and on. So download it. I think you're going to use it. We do. Drink Water Reminder in the App Store, free. Right here with Rick Dees and this molten magma every day. We call it the Planet of the Apps.
There you go. Planet of the Apps, Mondays through Fridays. And the Joe Show at this time leads us into the Country Comic Spotlight this morning, where in the Spotlight we have Sean Philippe. Sean Philippe in the Spotlight talks about when he told his mom he wanted to be a stand-up comedian. Sean Philippe in the Country Comic Spotlight. Here he is.
Thank you. If I look nervous, I am nervous. This is my first time speaking English. I love this group. I'm mixed race. I'm French, Thai, Filipino, and Spanish. Yeah, so if I was a girl, I'd be very pretty. It's true, I Googled it. I look great with bangs. I'm originally from Hawaii. Yeah, thank you. It's great to be in America. This is my best English right now, thank you. It's great to be here. I love telling jokes. I love this. I love making people laugh. I told my mom, I want to be a stand-up comic someday. My mom's from Thailand. She didn't understand. She was like, you're going to go up there and people are just going to laugh at you. That's what I want. I had to tell her all my stories. She's like, it did your joke because you're not funny. All you do is tell lie. Where you learn how to lie like that? I learned it from you. Remember you told me I was handsome? I don't teach you how to lie. And you are handsome. A little bit.
Sean Philippe in the Country Comic Spotlight. Rick Dees in this morning's Planet of the Apps and the Dad Joke of the Day. The best shows from last night's late-night television shows. Coming up first with Jimmy Fallon talking about how the inauguration was moved inside due to the cold weather. Here's Jimmy Fallon on the NBC's Tonight Show.
Yeah, today was Trump's inauguration, but the ceremony was moved inside because of freezing temperatures. Democrats were like, it doesn't bother us. We've been numb since November.
Jimmy Fallon also joking about the start of the second Trump presidency.
Yeah, America's rolling the dice with the second Trump presidency. It's like we somehow survived the first Squid Game and then signed back up for a second. It's like, we won, kind of.
And Jimmy also joking about the ban on TikTok.
Of course, the other big story everyone's talking about is that over the weekend, TikTok shut down in the U.S., then came back 14 hours later. It's like when a kid threatens to run away and just spends the night at a neighbor's house. It's like, I'm really doing it this time. Yeah, for 14 hours, millions of parents saw their children's eyeballs for the first time.
Still on us at Sunrise, Jimmy Fallon joking on last night's late night show. So let's give you one more, as Seth Meyers joked on on Late Night with Seth Meyers about President Biden's pardons.
Former President Joe Biden issued preemptive pardons today for many of President Trump's adversaries like water pressure, wind, and Taylor Swift.
There you go. Still on us at Sunrise, 7 o'clock in the morning. Here's news.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 7 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Hours after his inauguration Monday, President Trump signed several executive orders, including one that grants pardons to roughly 1,500 people convicted in connection with the January 6th riot. More from Simon Marks.
Among those being freed, Enrique Tarrio, leader of the far-right group The Proud Boys, serving a 22-year sentence, and Stuart Rhodes of the Oath Keepers. He was sentenced to 18 years in jail.
Trump also signed an executive order that designates drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Earlier Monday, he signed an order that rescinds almost 80 of former President Biden's executive actions. President Trump is making a few exceptions to his executive order freezing government hiring. The freeze doesn't apply to the military, immigration enforcement, national security, or public safety. Trump barred all agencies from filling vacancies and ordered them to make more efficient use of what they have. A potentially historic snowstorm could soon stretch as far south as Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. And with that comes a risk of frostbite, depending on where you are. National Weather Service meteorologist Jim Lee says the colder it is, the less time it takes to get frostbite.
Even if you had a really warm coat, but you had bare hands or your face was uncovered, noses and cheeks and things like that can be some of the first places to be frostbit.
The governors of Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and Mississippi have all declared states of emergency due to the extreme weather. The storm is expected to bring snow, ice, and freezing rain through Wednesday. Officials are urging people to stay off the roads and keep a little water running through their pipes to keep them from freezing. If the college football playoff expands again in 10 years, you might want to go ahead and pencil in Ohio State as champions. The Buckeyes capped their first ever 12-team playoff with a 34-23 win over Notre Dame Monday night to capture the college football playoff national championship. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Hey, I got you something.
What's this?
Just a little Galentine's gift from JTV.
Do you mean jewelry television? I love their jewelry. They have the
New customers get $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
Yeah, their artisan collections, gorgeous.
Are you going to open your gift?
Oh, yeah. It's the pearl bracelet.
New customers receive $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, that's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year.
President Trump says he is looking forward to being a peacemaker now that he's back in the White House. Ross Cullen reports.
Although he didn't mention Ukraine in his speech, the new president did say that he wanted to be measured by the wars we end, that he hopes his proudest legacy will be as a peacemaker, and he criticized the, quote, unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders. Donald Trump also told reporters after his inauguration that he believes Russian President Vladimir Putin is destroying Russia by failing to reach a peace deal on Ukraine, though the new president said he would have to speak to his Russian counterpart before announcing any concrete measures to try to end the war. Ross Cullen, Kyiv.
President Trump has made transgender athletes a focus of his administration. More from Tammy Trujillo.
He had this to say at the Liberty Ball.
With a party of common sense, we don't want to have men playing in women's sports. We don't want to have transgender operations for everyone.
Trump spoke at the second of 3 inauguration balls he was scheduled to attend. Earlier Monday, Trump signed an executive order that directs federal agencies to stop promoting the concept of gender transition. During his inaugural address, Trump said from now on it will be the official policy of the U.S. government that there are only 2 genders, male and female.
Today is a day for the snackers. Bree Tennis with details on National Granola Bar Day.
There are two people who say they invented the granola bar back in the 70s, Herrick Kimball and Stanley Mason. But Stanley's often credited with being the first to compress granola into bar form. He also invented the squeezable ketchup bottle and dental floss container, so there's a history of Stanley filling America's needs. Granola bars are a $1.6 billion per year industry, and they're pretty healthy with about 100 calories if you stay away from added sugar.
Michael Kastner.
Hey! It's me, your radio. Yeah, I know, I'm usually here playing your favorite song or the news, weather, sports, talk, even traffic. You and I spend a lot of time together, and I was thinking you should advertise your business right here on the radio. Check it out. About 93% of the population listens to the radio each week. And with radio, you can reach the right people with the right message at the right time, at the right cost. I mean, simply put, the dollars you spend on radio advertising generate the best ROI of any media. I bet you didn't know I knew stuff like that, did you? I know what you're thinking. Sounds pretty good, but I have no idea where to start with this radio advertising thing. Surprise! I'm kind of an expert. Tell you what, give us a call today and find out how radio delivers results.
Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to AdvertiseCentralKentucky.com. That's AdvertiseCentralKentucky.com.
Good morning to you. It's Tuesday. It's the 21st day of January, 012125 on your calendar. So glad to have you on the Joe Show on this Tuesday morning. Got a forecast coming your way for a very cold Tuesday for us. And wind chills well below sub-zero as you're getting up and starting off this Tuesday morning. Forecast is coming up, but news is first. Brought to you by Stuart Powell Ford Mazda.
Hi, this is Fred Sizemore with Stuart Powell Ford and Mazda. All of us here would like to thank everyone in Boyle and the surrounding counties for once again selecting our dealership as the #1 new car dealership, used car dealership, and place to have your vehicle serviced. We strive daily to meet every need of every customer, and since 1949 we have been providing quality products and services at a fair price while treating our customers and employees with respect. Stop in at 225 South Danville Bypass and see just how easy it is to do business with us.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Temperatures near 0 degrees and sub-zero wind chills. Those numbers have again allowed Boyle County Emergency Management Agency to open a warming shelter. It will be where it was the last few rounds, at a gathering place on Jean Drive. The hope is to keep the warming shelter open through Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. However, volunteers will be needed for 4-hour shifts. If you can volunteer some time, you can sign up for a time slot by going to the City of Danville Facebook page and following the link. The Mercer County Fire Protection District is raising taxes, with Chief Glenn Phillips saying that it is a, quote, have-to case. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the Mercer Fire District is raising their tax rate from 80 cents per $1,000 in assessed value to $1 per $1,000. Simple math, for property valued at $100,000, it would raise that owner's property tax bill from $80 to $100. Phillips says that anything attached to the fire department is doubling in price. For example, a tanker that was purchased in 2020 for $250,000 now costs about $470,000. He said emission standards have also changed, and that adds another $80,000 in cost as well. The Mercer County Sanitation District says they're working on the Gwen Island Road project. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the project was started last March when the Sanitation District received more than $2.2 million in funding from the EPA's Sewer Overflow and Stormwater Rescue Municipal Grant Program. That project will eliminate 129 residential septic systems, 6 holding tanks, and create 2 new pump stations on Harrington Lake. However, a year since the funding was announced and the bidding for the project hasn't even begun. Executive Director of the Mercer County Sanitation District, Mike Sanford, said the holdup is because of easements. The project must be finished by 2026. And the Danville Police Department released their year-end numbers for 2024. Those numbers show they responded to more than 16,000 events last year alone. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
This morning's local news was a service of Stuart Powell Ford Mazda on the bypass in Danville and online at stuartpowell.com.
Be prepared for what Mother Nature brings. Keep up to date with weather forecasts here every hour on WHIR.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jack, that's awfully nice of you there, buddy. Brought to you by our friends over at the Little Sign Shop. Need a sign, a banner, or a decal fast? It's the new owners and operators of the Little Sign Shop. They have full-color digital printing, magnetic signs, auto signage, and they offer logo design. They're in Danville, where 2nd and 4th Streets meet. Call them, 859-238-7391. Chance of flurries today between 3 and 4, high of 19, low of 1 below 0, and we are even cooler than that right now. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, a high of 27, a low of 19, 3 below 0 wind chills tomorrow, and we finally get over this just nasty, harsh cold that we've got. Thursday is still going to be cooler, but you don't have that wind chill. 34, Friday 31, Saturday 44 is the high, which is nice. Right now, 7:11 in the morning, 5 degrees. It's actually what my thermometer says is 5.3 in Danville, and the wind chill is negative 5.3. So we're looking at 5 below 0 wind chills right now. Phone number to call in, 859-238-WHIR, 238-9447. Do want to tell you all something. Last night, we've been having some issues with like some of our Facebook streaming, which it kind of makes sense, honestly, when you think about it. So, we video stream 2 radio stations at the same time because Rick is hosting his morning show on WHBN on the Harrodsburg station. I'm hosting, obviously, mine here on WHIR. And so with 2 radio stations simultaneously streaming video at the same time from inside the studio, we video stream our shows. That's caused issues on Facebook, which are going to make sense because how many Facebook pages you think are trying to stream 2 videos at the same time? Like, why would anyone ever need to do that except for, like, our purpose? So Facebook changed the settings and stopped allowing 2 things to stream on the same page at the same time. So we've had to create brand new Facebook pages for each one of our radio stations. Of course, we have 3 here. We have WHIR, we have WHBN, we also have WRNZ. So next time you're on Facebook, if you want to, and we'd love for you to follow WHIR Radio on Facebook. It's a specific page just for HIR, which is obviously a part of the Hometown Radio Network family, but we can't stream multiple things at the same time on the Hometown Live Radio Facebook page from the same page. So we have to stream it from a separate page and then put that on the Hometown Live Radio Facebook page. So when you're on Facebook next time, or maybe you're listening to me right now and you're sitting there on your phone, go to Facebook, look up WHIR Radio on Facebook, give us a like, and do the same thing for WHBN Radio and give that a like, and then WRNZ Radio and give that a like. That will allow us to, whatever station we're broadcasting, whatever the program is, be it like tonight's basketball game on WRNZ. You'll be able to hear the live stream on WRNZ Radio's Facebook page. It'll also be on the Hometown Live Radio Facebook page. But if we have multiple games going on at the same time, which we do every Friday night during football season, we'll be able to live stream all of those at the same time with audio. So, again, give us a like on Facebook at WHIR Radio, and you can keep up with all the happenings here at the Hometown Radio Network on each of our 3 separate radio station pages. All right, that's what's going on. Let's see what's breaking and trending this morning here on The Joe Show. A potentially historic winter storm could soon stretch as far south as Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. Cold weather is also affecting millions, and the governors of Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and Mississippi have all declared states of emergency. The storm is expected to bring snow, ice, and freezing rain through Wednesday, making travel treacherous. Officials are urging people to stay off the roads and keep a little running water through the pipes to keep them from freezing. In Texas, Houston's major airports are closed today. The National Weather Service says this should be the biggest winter storm for that area in a century. Major airlines are delaying and canceling flights due to that storm. President Trump is signing an executive order aimed at tackling the TikTok ban. But there may be a bigger hiccup. Right after getting back to the Oval Office, Trump signed the order that he says will allow him to either sell it or close it. And it has a 75-day extension deadline. He said the app will be worthless if he doesn't approve a potential deal to sell, but it may be worth $1 trillion if he does. Trump went on to add he feels the U.S. should get 50% of TikTok. He threatened China with a tariff if the deal isn't done. Currently, 60% of TikTok is owned by companies BlackRock, I can't pronounce this, Something International Group, and others. 3 of the 5 board members of ByteDance are Americans. The founders of TikTok own 20% of the company, and employees own the last 20. China does not own the app or the company. What else is going on? Well, major deportation raids scheduled in Chicago after President Trump's inauguration have been put on hold for now. Border Czar Tom Homan said over the weekend that there was a leak about the plan in the Windy City. Now the raids reported to have been planned for today will happen at another time so as to maintain the element of surprise. Homan said the raids will be against illegal migrants who pose public safety and national security threats. For many, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is a day of service. Zoe Saldana jumped on that to help victims of the Eaton fire. The Emilia Perez actress volunteered in Pasadena and Altadena, then put out a plea to fans on social saying, "We're here at Pasadena Job Center. I'm here with the team organizers. We are in dire need of a lot of items that are running out. The line here of cars and people that are coming is incredible. Baby formula is a key need," according to her. A U.S. Border Patrol agent was shot and killed on a highway in northern Vermont. In addition to the agent, the FBI confirmed that a suspect was also killed, and a second suspect was injured and taken into custody. The incident happened on Interstate 91 in Coventry, about 20 miles south of the Canadian border. No other details were released about the incident other than the FBI said there was no ongoing threat to the public. With J.D. Vance now the VP, his temporarily empty seat in the Senate means there are 99 senators available for votes. Yesterday, all 99 voted to confirm Senator Marco Rubio as President Trump's Secretary of State, including Rubio himself. Several Democrats believe that his experience as the top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee made him qualify for the position. Rubio is the first member of Trump's cabinet to be confirmed. And among the pardons issued by former President Joe Biden in the final days of his administration was one for the former chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, Mark Milley. As is tradition, the portrait of the retired general was hung in a hallway at the Pentagon on January 10th, but yesterday his portrait was removed after the pardon was issued. That's what's breaking and trending this morning right here on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. It's 7:17 in the morning on this Tuesday, the 21st day of January. We've got sports coming your way next with K&N sitting in for the Big Daddy.
This Steve Bertram Sports Report is a service of Stuart Powell Ford Mazda on the Danville Bypass and online at stuartpowell.com.
At Stuart Powell Ford Mazda, we are proud to be your hometown dealer for many reasons. Selection, service, convenient location, and our people. Your friends, family, and neighbors. Since 1949 at Stuart Powell, we make it easy. Stuart Powell Ford Mazda. Visit us on the Bypass in Danville or online at stuartpowell.com.
Here's the score on the Kentucky News Network. I'm Gus Allen. The highly anticipated college football national championship with the newly formed field of 12 came to a conclusion last night with Ohio State getting redemption of sorts.
Howard back to throw. Sets up, looks all over, takes off running. Will Howard now throws into the end zone wide open, and it's Judkins with a catch for the score. Will Howard started to run right up the middle, but he finds Quinshon Judkins on a 6-yard TD pass play.
The call on the Ohio State Sports Network as Quinshon Judkins with one of his 3 touchdowns to help the Buckeyes dispatch Notre Dame and capture the national championship 34-23 in Atlanta. The win caps a comeback for Ohio State, who lost a shocker to their rival Michigan on November 30th, in which the Buckeyes were 21-point favorites, and Coach Ryan Day's job was questioned by many. Day said after the game he believes this is one of the greatest teams ever.
They've cemented themselves in Ohio State history, the 9th national champ and the 3rd really in the last 50 years. There's been some great teams in the last 50 some odd years at Ohio State. Great teams, great players. Only 3 have been national champs, and these guys are one of them.
Quinshon Judkins had 121 all-purpose yards to go along with his 3 scores on the night. Ohio State claimed their 9th national title in program history with the win. The Buckeyes got out to a 31-7 lead before Notre Dame closed within 8 points with 4:15 remaining, but a Buckeye field goal in the final minute cemented the win. Notre Dame finishes 14-2 on the year. The AP Top 25 basketball poll is out, and welcome back Louisville to the list. The Cardinals come in at number 25 and enter the poll for the first time in nearly 3 years. Kentucky moved down 1 spot to number 9 after a win over Texas A&M and a loss to Alabama. Unanimous number 1 was Auburn, followed by Duke, Iowa State, Alabama, and Florida. Tennessee is 6th, followed by Houston, Michigan State, Kentucky at 9th, and Marquette to round out the top 10. Speaking of Louisville, they're in action tonight against SMU at 9 p.m. I'm Gus Allen, KNN Sports.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
This is Caraway at Mattresses and More on Houstonville Road in Danville. If you are looking for new furniture or bedding, stop by and check us out. New items arriving weekly, and we sell off the floor. Buy it today and take it home today. We offer layaway and 12 months same as cash with approved credit.
Thank you, Caraway. Again, buy it today, take it home today. Living room suits, bedroom suits, dinette sets, recliners, and more. From Mattresses and More, Southland Plaza next to Ace Hardware.
Don't be a dirty driver. You can shine on and drive on with a clean vehicle from the original Thoroughbred Car Wash in Danville on Perryville Road. The original Thoroughbred Car Wash has 6 self-service bays and 8 vacuums and a touchless automatic wash that washes, waxes, and blow dries for the spotless wash that you'll be proud of. Find the original Thoroughbred Car Wash in Danville on Perryville Road, just down from Big Lots. Open 7 days a week for your convenience.
You gotta go with Graceland. Graceland Air.
Graceland Air, a local HVAC company, offers a wide range of services and provides each customer with an effective and long-term solution in both heating and air conditioning repair. They're committed to excellence in every aspect, exceptional quality of service, high standard of integrity. You are the basis of their business, and they service all brands. Go online to graceland-ky.com for more information.
You gotta go with Graceland. Graceland Air.
What makes Whitaker Bank uniquely Kentucky? With a wide range of products and services, we are here to provide you friendly, expert service for all of your banking needs. This is Rita McIntyre for Boyle, Garrett, and Mercer counties. As part of your community, we are committed to building solid, long-term relationships. Call me at 859-733-4963. Let us show you what uniquely Kentucky means. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
7:22 in the morning on this Tuesday, the 21st day of January, and we welcome onto the show Danville Admiral head boys basketball coach Tristan Ford. Whoa, hold on a second. I had my weather forecast playing there. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Joe. How are you?
Doing good, Coach. Appreciate you being on here this morning. I was not well prepared. I had 2 things playing at the same time, Coach. So if I was a player on the Admirals, you'd probably be making me run, what do you call them, suicides now? What do you make the players run if they make a mistake?
Really just depends. I don't think they call them suicides anymore, just for the whole mental health part.
Yeah.
The seriousness with that. But, I mean, it just depends on the time, I guess, of what type of practice we're having, if I make them run that or not.
Do you do the
maybe just a down and back?
Yeah, do you do the thing where, like, run the down and back, come back, make them shoot free throws or whatever, kind of like the high-pressure type thing? You do that in practice? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, sometimes we do it at the very end. Kind of put a little pressure on it, some consequences on it, maybe some push-ups.
Yeah, replicate your fatigued. Yeah, like you're fatigued at the end of the game, and you replicate that there with, like, the free throw type thing you got going on? Yeah. Hey, Coach, you got a big one tonight taking on Garrett County. We'll be there live for it. Girl-boy doubleheader tonight between the Golden Lions and Lady Lions and the Lady Admirals and the Admirals. And, Coach, going back to last week, you had 2 district games last week, Lincoln County and Boyle County. The Boyle County game, we had that one last Friday on Z105. And was able to broadcast that one. Interesting game, Coach, because Boyle County jumped out, I think, to an 11-0 lead in that one. But you all really settled down after that, and from that point on to like the end of the second quarter, I think you actually outscored Boyle County. Now, in the second half, the Rebels were able to really run their full-court press really well. But, I mean, you all easily could have, given up, hung your head, whatever. But you all came back and said, look, we're down 11-0, but there's still a lot of time to fight left in this game.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I can be proud of is that I think we battled, we fought. They definitely did start out on us 11-0. I kind of told my team that. I wasn't really sure which team, but sometimes just being a part of this rivalry for as long as I've been a part of it, that's just how it goes. Usually one team is so juiced up that they come out, they're on fire, they're hitting shots. We happen to just be the team that came out flat, but like you said, we got settled. I think we got comfortable. We kind of got comfortable with the zone and kind of figured out what they were trying to do against us. But yeah, later on in the game, the press kind of sped us up. My guards we weren't patient. We weren't getting people in the right place, allowing us to get trapped without outlets. And I think they forced us to 24 turnovers, and that's hard to beat anybody with that.
Yeah, another thing, I talked with Coach Webb on Monday, so I talked with him yesterday. He had mentioned as well the foul trouble they were able to get you all into. He had J.C. Ungraves sit for much of the second half with 4 fouls. He's one of the better defenders, better players in the district and region, Coach. He's like a half a point, not even that, like 0.2 of a point away and 0.2 of a rebound away from averaging a double-double, and he'd be the only player in the district doing that. So, get one of the better players in foul trouble, that certainly helped him out as well.
Yeah, that definitely was a hit on us. I take full responsibility for it. His 4th foul, I didn't know he had 3. His 3rd foul, I thought was on someone else, so I left him out there.
Yeah,
not knowing he had 3, so he picked up his 4th and the 3rd, and I would have probably already been sitting him down just to, try to prolong him being out on the floor because he is a big key. To everything that we have going on. And just to add on to that, just to, give him his credit, not only is he that close to averaging a double-double, we don't keep track of blocks, but he's right around 3.5 blocks a game on our average, too. So he's doing great.
Yeah, the stats on KHSAA are phenomenal, but it would be if you could add blocks and assists in there as well. He's one of the, defenders in the region. When we saw him go against DCA a couple weeks ago, and he held his own against Louis Ye and Lake Atin, who certainly are taller than him, it just shows kind of the fire that he plays with.
Yeah. He's last year he didn't play with that much fire. He was kind of still in his shell. His freshman year, he broke his leg, so. He's still he was inexperienced, but I think now he's kind of showcasing what he has, and I think he has a whole lot of upside to show for the rest of this season and the next season.
Yeah, it certainly does. You got Garrett County tonight, Coach. Casey McCray, the head coach of the Golden Lions, and they've had a pretty good year this year so far, Coach, and you all match up with them for the first time this season. They just beat Dunbar on Saturday, and they had won, I think it was like 7 straight at one point this season, longest streak for Garrett County basketball in quite some time, winning 7 in a row. What do you know about this Garrett County team?
Yeah, one thing I know that they're always going to do is they're going to battle. I think the Garrett game within the last few years that I've been paying attention for sure to the boys' side has always came down within 10 at least. So I know it'll be a hard-fought battle, guaranteed for his team to be well coached. Casey does a really good job with his guys. They buy in. Like I said, they play hard. They go through his scheme. The No kid, number 2, he's pretty tough. they put us out of the tournament also last year, which I definitely will never forget. But I think if I'm not mistaken, he gave us 33 in the district tournament last season. So we've kind of marked those off. We remember those teams. So just like it's been saying the last couple of weeks, another district game, nothing easy. We're going to try to take care of our home court. We're right there in the middle. I think Garrett's the last team that we'll have to play. So as far as before we flip and play everybody else on the other side, like the home and away. So we're right there in the middle. A very important game for us as far as seeding goes towards the end of the season. So I'm just excited to see what we got. Get the bad losing taste out of our mouth. Hopefully.
Garrett County and Danville, 7:30 is the tip-off of the boys' game. The girls' game will go before that around 6 o'clock. And get out there and to watch Danville and Garrett. It's at Danville if you can. If you can't, we'll have the broadcast live tonight on Z105. Coach Tristan Ford joins us every Tuesday morning here in the show talking Admiral basketball. Coach, we appreciate you being on. Good luck. We'll see you tonight and talk to you again next week, okay?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Yes, sir, Coach. Bye. That's Danville head boys basketball coach Tristan Ford. Admirals and Golden Lions girl-boy doubleheader on Z105 tonight, 6 o'clock tip-off, and you can listen to that game on Z or obviously stream the audio live on Facebook as well. 7:30 in the morning. Here's news.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Monday's peaceful transfer of power comes on the day the country also remembers a man known for peaceful resistance during the tumultuous civil rights struggles of the 1960s. Here's John Shannon.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. visited Louisville several times during the 60s at the height of the civil rights movement. Speaking at the Jefferson County Armory in 1960, he urged people to register to vote. A year later, he spoke at the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary the day after 40 black sit-in demonstrators were arrested during protests over refusals to serve black patrons. 2 years later, in 1963, King stood at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
King was back in Louisville 4 times in 1967, speaking at the U of L Law School and with boxing legend Muhammad Ali. A year later, he was assassinated by James Earl Ray as he stood on a hotel balcony in Memphis, Tennessee. He was just 41 years old. I'm John Shannon.
In 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill creating a federal holiday to honor King, observed for the first time on January 20th, 1986. One person is dead after flames destroyed a home early Monday in Barron County. The local coroner's officials say the victim's body is being transported to the Kentucky State Medical Examiner's office in Louisville so that an autopsy can be performed. The victim's identity was not released. No one else was hurt in the fire, but the cause of which is being investigated. One person dead after shots fired on Sunday afternoon in Lexington. Department sources say officers called to the 2700 block of Fairmont Court around noon, arriving to find the male victim in distress with at least 1 gunshot wound. He died at the scene. No suspect information was available as police continue to investigate. I'm Lee Mowen.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
At Suttles Tree Care, we salute the beauty of the great outdoors. And for those times when the great outdoors isn't so beautiful, you don't have to worry. At Suttles Tree Care, we do it all. We help protect your trees from damage in high winds and storms, even tree and stump removal, land clearing, brush trimming. Let Suttles Tree Care take a look at your property. If there's a tree that could be a problem, we'll let you know and take care of it before the problem happens. At Suttles Tree Care, you get the best for less. Affordable, expert tree and brush trimming, cabling to reduce stress damage on your tree from high winds, weight from ice and snow, and heavy foliage. At Suttles Tree Care, we're your neighbors. We live here. We're a licensed, insured, locally owned business, a family that's been taking care of your land for over 30 years. The great outdoors. It's beautiful. At Suttles Tree Care, we can help you keep it that way. Visit SuttlesTreeCare.com and let's take care of your trees and property before there's a problem. Suttles Tree Care. Get the best for less.
This is Randy Gipp Graham. If you want to start your weekend off in a winning way, propelling you into a new work week, then join with our team every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock on the Kentucky Power Hour. Sure, we talk current events, politics, a little sports, and a lot about leadership, but with you, the listener, in mind. So start your day off in a winning way. Right here on the Happy Station, WHIR.
The Kentucky Power Hour on AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Temperatures near 0 degrees and sub-zero wind chills. Those numbers have again allowed Boyle County Emergency Management Agency to open a warming shelter. It will be where it was the last few rounds, at a gathering place on Jean Drive. The hope is to keep the warming shelter open through Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. However, volunteers will be needed for 4-hour shifts. If you can volunteer some time, you can sign up for a time slot by going to the City of Danville Facebook page and following the link. The Mercer County Fire Protection District is raising taxes, with Chief Glenn Phillips saying that it is a, quote, have-to case. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the Mercer Fire District is raising their tax rate from 80 cents per $1,000 in assessed value to $1 per $1,000. Simple math, for property valued at $100,000, it would raise that owner's property tax bill from $80 to $100. Phillips says that anything attached to the fire department is doubling in price. For example, a tanker that was purchased in 2020 for $250,000 now cost about $470,000. He said emission standards have also changed, and that adds another $80,000 in cost as well. The Mercer County Sanitation District says they're working on the Gwen Island Road project. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the project was started last March when the Sanitation District received more than $2.2 million in funding from the EPA's Sewer Overflow and Stormwater Rescue Municipal Grant Program. That project will eliminate 129 residential septic systems, 6 holding tanks, and create 2 new pump stations on Harrington Lake. However, a year since the funding was announced and the bidding for the project hasn't even begun. Executive Director of the Mercer County Sanitation District, Mike Sanford, said the holdup is because of easements. The project must be finished by 2026. And the Danville Police Department released their year-end numbers for 2024. Those numbers show they responded to more than 16,000 events last year alone. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Big deals. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hi, Jenny here. Just counting all the dollars I saved at my local Big Deals online store. What? You haven't saved yet? Get on it. You'll love the great selection of gift certificates at discount prices. They make great gifts, too. And you can shop right from your phone. Nothing satisfies like counting all those savings. Now let me get back to it. 6, 7, 8.
Go to hometownlive.net to shop and save at the Big Deals online store. You can also find links to download the free Big Deals Media app for your phone. Works on Apple and Android cells. Shop quickly and access all your mobile Big Deal certificates easily for redemption. You can also easily send a mobile certificate to someone else to use via email. Check it out and join the thousands that save with Big Deal certificates to local businesses.
Shop and save with Big Deals at hometownlive.net. That's hometownlive.net.
This is Caraway at Mattresses and More on Houstonville Road in Danville. If you are looking for new furniture or bedding, stop by and check us out. New items arriving weekly, and we sell off the floor. Buy it today and take it home today. We offer layaway and 12 months same-as cash with approved credit.
Thank you, Caraway. Again, buy it today, take it home today. Living room suits, bedroom suits, dinette sets, recliners, and more. From Mattresses and More, Southland Plaza next to Ace Hardware.
Hey, it's Joe Pags. Make plans to join us for the show. We're bringing the top news stories that are affecting you, the top stories from social media, pop culture stories, could be in sports. Maybe we'll sing a song or 2 or 3 or make fun of somebody that you want us to make fun of. That plus, of course, a big part of the program is you calling in. Look, we can agree, we can debate, we can yell at each other, we can sing a song together. We do it all right here on the Joe Pags Show, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 on WHIR AM 1230 and online at hometownlive.net.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jack, appreciate that, buddy. Brought to you by our friends over at the Big Deals online store, hometownlive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts, up to 50% every single day. The Big Deals online store is at hometownlive.net. Chance of flurries on this Tuesday afternoon. High today, 19, low of -1 tonight. Tomorrow, 27's the high, 19 the low, -3 tomorrow. And then Thursday, mostly sunny, 34 is the high. At 7:38 in the morning, 5 degrees. Wind chill is at 5 below 0 on this Tuesday morning, the 21st day of January. And Jessica Besson is on here this morning to give us a lesson. Good morning, Jessica. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, Jessica. Appreciate you being on here this morning and giving us the County Agent's Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market.
Get the top price for your livestock. Take them to the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, where they have drop-off hours to fit the busy farmer's needs. Selling your livestock a profitable and a pleasant experience. Save the hassle of a long haul. Sell your livestock at the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, 277 Courtier Road in Stanford. Call Bluegrass South Livestock Market at 606-365-0665. Bluegrass South Livestock Market in Stanford.
Here's Jessica Besson.
All right, just kind of stay on theme with these wonderful temperatures that we're having right now. When we have winter storms a part of our forecast, and we tend to think about all the possible hazards that come with them, sometimes these storms, or even the storms, they don't really, it's after the fact, they bring ice with them, right? So we deal with ice covering our sidewalks, driveways, and many people use de-icer to help remove the slippery stuff. But how much is too much? Because you can actually put too much down. Following a few simple steps can help you stay safe while using fewer de-icer products. So clear the necessary pathways of all snow if we have any of that snow first. And you can save time and energy by shoveling the areas that you just need to get in and out of, like your house. Maybe you have a greenhouse, a barn area. Those highly trafficked areas are going to be the ones you want to focus at. Limiting using de-icer, just use it to the problem areas. You may only need a handful of a product per square yard, so always make sure to read that product label and to follow which best practices for it and which temperature levels that it works at, since it's extra cold right now. But when we have these storms come through, after the storms sweep up any excess product to protect your lawn and local waterways. Experts suggest using more product is no more effective at clearing the ice and snow. So if you pour a bunch out there thinking that this is going to work really well, you're just probably wasting your time and money with it. Because if you see salt crystals on the pathway, once it's dry, that's a sign that you've used too much. So using, like as I mentioned, using too much de-icer is not only wasteful financial-wise, but the chemicals in de-icing products can enter our stormwaters and eventually our streams and nearby rivers. And then these excess chemicals can cause your lawn and landscape shrubs to start to turn yellow, and that is because de-icer is taking the moisture out of the soil and basically causing them to feel like they are in a drought situation, that they do not have any water to get them through the winter. So the chemicals may also cause damage to your sidewalks and landscape pavers. So it's a good idea to research, some native salt-resistant plants in an area maybe that, it's a highly trafficked area and that you might use salt a lot. Maybe outside, if you have like a business or an office and you're thinking about putting some new shrubs and stuff there, someplace that you're going to salt a lot in the winter, to keep people safe. If you need help deciding on what kind of de-icer to use, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has a helpful resource on their website, such as de-icers and other household products that are safe for human health and the environment. And you can also try some alternatives for de-icers. So cracked corn might not de-ice things, but it can provide a lot of traction in slippery areas. Several other options include sand, fireplace ashes, or kitty litter can help increase traction. And they don't require as much cleanup after the winter weather passes. A creative way, though, to keep the ice from covering problem areas like stairs before these impending storms that we have is considering using something like a heavy plastic tarp, cardboard, something to cover up that you can easily remove afterwards, and so that area will remain clear as well. So try to stay as warm as you can out there, especially think of everyone who's out there working in this right now and all of our farmers who are out there in this all day feeding livestock right now. So that's today's Farm News. Thanks for tuning into our program. Join us each weekday at this time for the County Agent's Corner, a service of the Mercer, Boyle, Garrett, and Lincoln County UK Cooperative Extension Offices.
There you go. Jessica Besson giving us a lesson this morning for the County Agent's Corner. All right, Jessica, before you go, some random facts you may not know, but I want you to know, so I'm going to let you know. Jessica, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go, Jessica. Fact number 1. Over the next decade, the following copyrighted works will enter the public domain, which means their copyrights will end. Popeye, Pluto, Donald Duck, the original movie version of King Kong, Superman, Daffy Duck, James Bond, Batman, Captain Marvel, plus Bilbo Baggins, Gandalf, and the other characters from The Hobbit. Their copyrights will come to an end, which means, Jessica, we can... I guess we can freely use their name. We can use their name anyway, but we can use their images, and we don't have to have the copyrights of them anymore.
You don't think they'll reinstate them?
I don't know how that works. You have to, reapply for them. I don't know.
I imagine, what do you think? Donald Duck, they'll probably.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Disney. I feel like Disney would
Disney
do that.
seems like they'd be on top of it. They seem like they'd steal our joy.
And probably like Batman.
Yeah. Number 2, the last time that the state line was moved, any sort of state line, happened in 1961. There was a border shift between Minnesota and North Dakota. I don't know which way the line shifted, but it shifted somehow between Minnesota and North Dakota. So I would assume one state lost some land, the other state gained some land.
I would have thought it would have been further back than that, right?
Yeah,
the early 1900s.
That's 64 years ago, 1961.
Huh.
Number 3, Jessica, in 1942, Manitoba, Canada, tried to promote the sale of war bonds by staging a fake Nazi invasion of Winnipeg.
Oh.
So, that was during World War II, but the Nazis didn't invade Canada.
Yeah.
But they wanted to sell war bonds, so they just lied to their residents, their citizens, and told them. Yeah, they scared people. Fear tactics to sell war bonds.
Yeah.
Number 4, there's only one country between Norway and North Korea. Granted, that country is Russia, which is absolutely enormous, but a small part of Norway borders a northwest corner of Russia, and North Korea borders a southeast corner. So you don't typically think of Norway and North Korea being real close to each other.
No.
At all. But they're just, Russia separates them, and there are parts there where, Norway and North Korea are kind of close.
That's wild. Never thought about that.
And then number 5, Jessica, Shakespeare invented this name in his writing The Merchant of Venice. Do you know what that name was he invented? He made it up and came up with it. It became popular after that.
No. What?
The name is Jessica.
Ah!
There you go. Yes, Jessica was a created name by Shakespeare in The Merchant of Venice. And the song you're hearing right now is a song by the Allman Brothers Band, also called Jessica.
I did know that. I did know about that song.
There you go.
That's cool.
So your name was created by Shakespeare.
Well, that's cool. Most of the time, I'm just my name was very popular in the late 80s, early 90s.
You love it. Good stuff.
Jessica.
Jessica, appreciate you being on. We'll talk to you again on Thursday, okay?
All right.
All right. Bye. Jessica Besson giving us a lesson this morning.
Hey folks, Chrysler Cowboy here. When I started my journey in the automotive industry, I learned 3 valuable lessons. 1, have a good product. 2, treat people with respect. And 3, make sure it's a fair deal for everybody. I'm proud to call Anderson County my home, and at Chrysler Lawrenceburg, we want to give you that down-home experience. We offer certified pre-owned vehicles that come with a lifetime engine warranty, free tire rotation with every oil change, and customer service that rivals the best anywhere around. Chrysler Cowboy. If you can't remember that, just look for the hat. It's where you need to be, folks. Chrysler of Lawrenceburg.
Hey, Kentucky High School senior, are you into having the chance to win a $1,000 scholarship you can use towards your in-state college, trade school, or certification program? If so, listen up. Participate in the I'm In College Acceptance Video Challenge, and you could have your video selected for a statewide TV commercial, as well as the chance to win a $1,000 scholarship. Are you in? Find out more today by visiting gearupky.org/video. That's gearupky.org/video. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Here's the score on the Kentucky News Network. I'm Gus Allen. The highly anticipated college football national championship with the newly formed field of 12 came to a conclusion last night with Ohio State getting redemption of sorts.
Howard back to throw. Sets up, looks all over, takes off running well. Now throws into the end zone wide open, and it's Judkins with a catch for the score. Will Howard started to run right up the middle, but he finds Quinshon Judkins. on a 6-yard TD pass play.
The call on the Ohio State Sports Network as Quinshon Judkins with one of his 3 touchdowns to help the Buckeyes dispatch Notre Dame and capture the national championship 34-23 in Atlanta. The win caps a comeback for Ohio State, who lost a shocker to their rival Michigan on November 30th, in which the Buckeyes were 21-point favorites, and Coach Ryan Day's job was questioned by many. Day said after the game he believes this is one of the greatest teams ever.
They've cemented themselves in Ohio State history, the 9th national champ and the 3rd really in the last 50 years. There's been some great teams in the last 50 some odd years at Ohio State. Great teams, great players. Only 3 have been national champs, and these guys are one of them.
Quinshon Judkins had 121 all-purpose yards to go along with his 3 scores on the night. Ohio State claimed their 9th national title in program history with the win. The Buckeyes got out to a 31-7 lead before Notre Dame closed within 8 points with 4:15 remaining, but a Buckeye field goal in the final minutes cemented the win. Notre Dame finishes 14-2 on the year. The AP Top 25 basketball poll is out, and welcome back Louisville to the list. The Cardinals come in at number 25 and enter the poll for the first time in nearly 3 years. Kentucky moved down 1 spot to number 9 after a win over Texas A&M and a loss to Alabama. Unanimous number 1 was Auburn, followed by Duke, Iowa State, Alabama, and Florida. Tennessee is 6th, followed by Houston, Michigan State, Kentucky at 9th, and Marquette to round out the top 10. Speaking of Louisville, they're in action tonight against SMU at 9 p.m. I'm Gus Allen, KNN Sports.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Are you considering starting a business or expanding your existing business? Are you looking for a stable partner you can trust to help you understand your options? This is Ricky Peterson. I'm a loan officer at Whitaker Bank at the Danville Main Street office. As a part of your community, I'm here to help you understand the best options for you today and in the future. Give me a call at 859-236-9822. Let me show you what Uniquely Kentucky means. Whitaker Bank, Uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All righty, Jackie boy. It's brought to you by our friends over at Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency. Proudly representing the auto owners insurance company. Call Mark or Chris. They'd love to give you a free quote. 859-236-6686. Chance of flurries today. A high of 19. -1 is the wind chill tonight. And it's even colder right now. We're at 5 below zero as you all are listening to the Joe Show on this Tuesday morning. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, 27 and 19, the high and low. 3 below zero tomorrow. Thursday, mostly sunny and 34. Friday, mostly sunny and 31. Right now, it's 7:51 on this Tuesday morning. We'd love to have you on the show. It's 859-238-WHIR. 238-9447. We'd love to have you right here on the radio. Hey, Sylvester Stallone has warned his fans that the AI-generated trailer for Godfather 4 is fake. So there's an artificial intelligence-made Godfather 4 trailer, and Sylvester Stallone says, don't believe it, it's fake. So this movie's not real. It's not really coming out. Or is it?
Coming to theaters, the Mafia saga continues. Sylvester Stallone stars in The Godfather Part 4.
Hey, Godfather, the shop on the west side is late on collections. What should we do?
You must do this.
So we should whack Paulie?
No, it's not me.
So don't whack Paulie. Okay, what about Jimmy?
No, that's not you. That's not that.
Boss, seriously, my guys are gonna go to war with them other guys unless you give me something.
That could have been clear. You did the ball and you know?
Oh, boy, will you look at the time. I'm gonna go ahead and, head out, boss.
Sylvester Stallone stars in The Godfather Part 4, coming to theaters.
Godfather Part 4. And we'll see how that one does in theaters. Let's see what's going on out west in Hollywood, where the celebrities live. The showbiz segment, those people so rich and famous, they are disassociated with reality. We always check in on them every Monday through Friday morning, right here on The Joe Show. Here we go. Again, the rule of thumb, if a celebrity does it or says it, you should probably do and say the opposite. The world of the rich and famous. All right, Barack Obama was at the inauguration by himself yesterday. He was also at Jimmy Carter's funeral by himself. That has sparked some rumors that maybe there's some trouble in the Obama marriage. Michelle Obama turned 61 on Friday, and Barack did post a tribute to her on Instagram. He said, quote, "Happy birthday to the love of my life. You fill every room with warmth, wisdom, humor, and grace, and you look good doing it. I'm so lucky to be able to take on life's adventures with you. Love you. Sounds great, but the picture has people wondering if all is well in the marriage. It shows Barack and Michelle out for a nice dinner, and they're smiling, but they're sitting across from each other at a really, really wide table, and they're practically having to stretch their arms just to hold hands. People are saying their smiles are fake, and the fact that they're so far apart is also a sign. Adding the fact Michelle did not go to Jimmy Carter's funeral, did not go to President Trump's inauguration, and you'd get yourself a divorce rumor that way. A so-called source does indeed claim that the Obamas are basically living just as friends right now. Quote, the spark is gone, and they're simply just going through the motions. Hey, as celebrity phobias go, this is probably one of the most unfounded. Kate Winslet is terrified of cows. She says, quote, I go hiking all the time, and regularly footpaths will take you through fields of cows, and I've decided that they're going to stampede me to the ground. There is something behind Kate's fear, though. Quote, there was a time when my mother was alive, and she and I were on a walk, and some cows absolutely were catching up with us. They were slowly bo-peeping it, and then they did speed up. Really, truly, borderline, couple of gallopers, I'd say. But she adds, quote, I've got to get a better thing of coping at that, because, you know, they're not really scary, are they? They're not. And Chappelle Roan went viral at the 2024 VMAs when she told a disrespectful photographer to shut the expletive up. Depending on who you ask, she was either a warrior for standing up for herself or a snowflake for not being able to handle it. Chappelle herself admits that things would probably be easier if she just stuffed her feelings. Quote, I think actually I'd be more successful if I was okay wearing a muzzle. If I were to override more of my basic instincts or my heart's going, stop, 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 you're not okay, I would be bigger. I would be way bigger. But would she be happier? Would she be cooler? Some people say probably not. Chappelle Roan thinks she'd be more successful if she wore a muzzle. Kate Winslet is terrified of cows. And did Barack's birthday tribute to Michelle prove the Obamas are on the verge of divorce? A little tabloid trash, I guess, this morning. And what's going on out west in Hollywood, where the celebrities live? All right, here we go. Melton's Deli in Danville, the place to go for lunch this afternoon. Let's go with the All-American, since we had the inauguration yesterday. $6.99 for the All-American lean roast beef, smoked turkey, cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and mayonnaise. On your choice of bread, they do suggest the onion bun for this, but whatever bread you want, they can customize any sandwich to modify that to your taste. Melton's Deli in Danville. It's the All-American, 247 East Main and 995 Ben Ally Drive. Tell them you heard him this morning on The Joe Show. We're back in 90 seconds.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Danville's Deal Maker, Bob Allen.
Hi, I'm John Welsh, inviting you to start the new year in a new Nissan at Bob Allen Nissan. Lease a new 25 Rogue SV model for only $299 per month for 36 months. 10,000 lease miles per year. Stock in 25030. VIN SC 762441. Bob Allen Nissan on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com.
Going out of town or anywhere in the world? Stay in touch with WHIR on the internet at hometownlive.net. Powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
Hi, this is Deanna Charles at the Danville H&R Block. Do you have a small business in need of bookkeeping, payroll, or other business services? At H&R Block, we do it all, from simple sole proprietorships to partnerships, corporations, estates and trusts, and even nonprofit returns. With our monthly business services starting at just $50 per month, our prices are competitive and can allow you to focus on your business while we take care of your books. Give us a call at 859-236-3281 to learn more about our small business services, or stop by the office at 216 Brent Avenue in Danville.
Dunn's Barbecue, offering chicken wings. You asked for them, we got them. Barbecue, buffalo, Creole Parmesan, breaded or naked, as well as our famous pulled pork barbecue, brisket, grilled chicken, ribs, homemade sides, located in Harrisburg at 726 K Run. So call 734-3675 for your free delivery to Danville, Harrisburg, or Bergen. Dunn's Barbecue is open Tuesday through Saturday, located on Kane Run in Harrisburg, and for free delivery, takeout, and dine-in.
Time out for sports this weekend with
VSiN Sports Shows
on WHIR AM 1230.
All righty then, 8 o'clock in the morning coming your way. We'll see what Colleen has to say from the Boyle County Public Library this morning. At 8:10, we'll have Rimbyisms on here. At 8:20 this morning, we'll have James the Gardener. At 8:40, in the 9 o'clock in the morning hour, no Dusty at 9:10. So we'll skip over Dusty's Kentucky Music Preview segment, but we will have Tuesdays with Stith this morning at 9:35 here on The Joe Show on 103.9 FM. WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Here's Top Hour News.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WIMAX.
It's 8 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Hours after his inauguration Monday, President Trump signed several executive orders, including one that grants pardons to roughly 1,500 people who were convicted in the January 6 riots.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon.
Trump refers to those convicted as hostages. He also signed an executive order that designates drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Major deportation raids scheduled in Chicago after President Trump's inauguration have been put on hold for now. Border Czar Tom Homan said over the weekend there was a leak about the plan in the Windy City. Now the raids, reported to have been planned for today, will happen at another time so as to maintain the element of surprise. Trump, however, has made no secret of his intentions. President Trump is already getting pushback from New York on his efforts to try to end birthright citizenship. Andrew Whitman reports.
Within moments of President Trump signing the executive order to try and end birthright citizenship, New York's governor and attorney general tried to position the state as a bulwark against the move. Hochul saying birthright citizenship is not only enshrined in the Constitution, she calls it, quote, the key to the fundamental premise of America, and pledged to take action to protect it. A.G. James went further, calling the Trump EO, quote, nothing but an attempt to sow division and fear.
Members of the Biden family have received pardons as part of one of Joe Biden's final acts as president. In a statement, Biden said, my family has been subjected to unrelenting attacks and threats. He went on to say he has no reason to believe those attacks will end. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Few things are more important for safe driving than good eyesight. That's why starting January 1st, 2025, a new Kentucky law requires vision screening for anyone renewing a driver's license. Simply bring your completed vision form from your vision specialist to any driver licensing regional office, or get free vision screening at the time of renewal. For more details, go to drive.ky.gov.
A message from Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
I promise to get in shape.
I vow to give up sweets.
No more swear words.
This time of year, Kentuckians make lots of New Year's resolutions.
Pay off my credit cards.
But we should all resolve to be safe behind the wheel. Please, Kentucky, buckle up and put the phone down.
That's a resolution I can live with.
Brought to you by Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Costco could face a strike if it doesn't reach agreement on a contract with its 18,000 union members. Brad Ford reports.
85% of the union members have approved going on strike. The Teamsters Union says company profits are up 135% since 2018, and union members deserve a piece of that. Costco recently reported $254 billion in annual revenue and nearly $7.5 billion in net profits. The deadline for a deal is January 31st. I'm Brad Ford.
The teenager accused in a deadly knife attack at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class in Southport, England last summer has changed his plea. Stuart Smith reports.
18-year-old Axel Rudacabana has pleaded guilty to all 16 charges, which, in addition to murder and attempted murder, include possession of a knife, the possession of an Al-Qaeda training manual, and the preparation of a biological toxin.
He's expected to face life in prison. The attack, which a prosecutor described as meticulously planned, claimed the lives of 3 girls between the ages of 6 and 9 and injured 8 other children and 2 adults. False rumors that the killer was a migrant who was in the UK illegally sparked violent protests during that week that followed the tragedy. The thousands of acres of burned-out neighborhoods are going to pose a different kind of problem soon in Southern California. More from Tammy Trujillo.
Governor Newsom has issued an executive order to speed up the removal of what's left of thousands of homes and other buildings ahead of the winter rains. Burned ground doesn't absorb water at a normal rate, and that creates the potential for mudslides and flash floods, both carrying debris with them, even in seemingly light rainfall. The order will streamline the cleanup efforts by suspending certain permits and approvals, along with a number of environmental rules for the next 90 days.
Michael Kastner, NBC.
At Subtle's Tree Care, we salute the beauty of the great outdoors. And for those times when the great outdoors isn't so beautiful, you don't have to worry. At Subtle's Tree Care, we do it all. We help protect your trees from damage in high winds and storms, even tree and stump removal, land clearing, brush trimming. Let Subtle's Tree Care take a look at your property. If there's a tree that could be a problem, we'll let you know and take care of it before the problem happens. At Subtle's Tree Care, you get the best for less. Affordable, expert tree and brush trimming. Cabling to reduce stress damage on your tree from high winds, weight from ice and snow, and heavy foliage. At Subtle's Tree Care, we're your neighbors. We live here. We're a licensed, insured, locally owned business. A family that's been taking care of your land for over 30 years. The great outdoors. It's beautiful. At Subtle's Tree Care, we can help you keep it that way. Visit SubtlesTreeCare.com and let's take care of your trees and property before there's a problem. Subtle's Tree Care. Get the best for less.
Dinosaur Zoo Live is an experimental theater production which takes audiences on a prehistoric journey into a new dimension. Roars in on January 25th, 2 p.m. at the Boyle County Performing Arts Center. It features 19 dinosaurs on stage. Children can watch, learn, and interact with the creatures in this fun, educational, and unique presentation. Tickets are on sale now at bcpac.com. bcpac.com. Dinosaur Zoo Live, Saturday, January 25th, 2 p.m. Boyle County Performing Arts Center.
Good morning to you. It's Tuesday. It is the 21st day of January, and a day where we get cloudy skies and very, very cold temperatures. 1 below zero is the wind chill. Forecast for tonight, it's even cooler right now. We'll give you the forecast. Coming up, we will get a little bit warmer over the weekend. News comes up here first. This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Temperatures near 0 degrees and sub-zero wind chills. Those numbers have again allowed Boyle County Emergency Management Agency to open a warming shelter. It will be where it was the last few rounds, at a gathering place on Jean Drive. The hope is to keep the warming shelter open through Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. However, volunteers will be needed for 4-hour shifts. If you can volunteer some time, you can sign up for a time slot by going to the City of Danville Facebook page and following the link. The Mercer County Fire Protection District is raising taxes, with Chief Glenn Phillips saying that it is a, quote, have-to case. The Ayersburg Herald reports that the Mercer Fire District is raising their tax rate from 80 cents per $1,000 in assessed value to $1 per $1,000. Simple math, for property valued at $100,000, it would raise that owner's property tax bill from $80 to $100. Phillips says that anything attached to the fire department is doubling in price. For example, a tanker that was purchased in 2020 for $250,000 now cost about $470,000. He said emission standards have also changed, and that adds another $80,000 in cost as well. The Mercer County Sanitation District says they're working on the Gwynn Island Road project. The Harrodsburg Herald reports that the project was started last March when the Sanitation District received more than $2.2 million in funding from the EPA's Sewer Overflow and Stormwater Rescue Municipal Grant Program. That project will eliminate 129 residential septic systems, 6 holding tanks, and create 2 new pump stations on Harrington Lake. However, a year since the funding was announced and the bidding for the project hasn't even begun. Executive Director of the Mercer County Sanitation District, Mike Sanford, said the holdup is because of easements. The project must be finished by 2026. And the Danville Police Department released their year-end numbers for 2024. Those numbers show they responded to more than 16,000 events last year alone. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Talk Kentucky Sports, weekday mornings at 10 with Matt Jones and Kentucky Sports Radio, right here on AM 1230 WHIR.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jake. Appreciate that, old buddy. Brought to you by our friends over at the Big Deals online store, hometownlive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts. Entertainment tickets available as well, up to 50% every single day. The Big Deals online store is at hometownlive.net. Cloudy skies, snow possible between 3 and 4 this afternoon. Just some flurries. The thing today and tomorrow is just the brutal cold. 19 is the high, 1 below 0 tonight is the low. And you get tomorrow increasing clouds, 27 and 19, but very, very bitter wind chills tomorrow afternoon as well. Thursday mostly sunny, 34. Friday 31. We are in the mid-40s on Saturday. Right now it's 8:11 in the morning. It is 6 degrees. The wind chill is at 4 below 0. And we welcome onto the show from the Boyle County Public Library, Colleen Hall. Good morning, Colleen. How are you?
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
I am doing great, Colleen. Appreciate you calling in. Yeah, well, yeah, we have a frozen pipe at our house.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's everything works except this one toilet. So the toilet's frozen, and we don't have to worry. I'm not really worried about the pipes bursting. I just it's inconvenient because we have a toilet that's not working.
Yeah, and littles. So.
Yes, yeah. So that's the problem that we're going through right now at our house. But besides that, we're doing okay. How's everything with you going?
We're doing well. We're open today and got our full hours. So today we have throughout the week we have a bunch of programming. We have story time today, Wednesday, and at 11 we have the Teen Creative Club at 3:30 today, and on Thursday they're doing board games. Tonight we have a program called Beating the Winter Blues, which people might really want and need. It's just coziness and crafting. Tonight at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow afternoon at 3 is the kids' book tasting we talked about last time we chatted, where the kids can come and try out and look at different books and get recommendations.
Okay.
And then on Thursday we have Crochet Club at 6 o'clock in the evening, and that's all fiber arts if you knit or crochet or do needlework of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
And on Friday, they're having a special teen program, life-size clue game. So
nice.
I guess they'll be playing with themselves as
they're the characters.
Pieces. Yes.
They're like Mrs. Peacock and Colonel Mustard.
Exactly.
Things like that.
Professor Plum.
Professor Plum. There was a Mrs. White or something, right? Like the old lady,
I think.
think.
So. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so life-size Clue, that's Friday, you said?
Yes, at 3:30.
Okay, 3:30. Good.
And I want to let everybody know, on Monday we are going to be closed the 27th for a staff training day.
Okay.
So you can still return materials in the book drop, and, of course, check out books online, but we won't be open on Monday, but we'll reopen on Tuesday.
Good stuff.
And then also, just my last reminder is tax season is coming, and we will have tax help here at the library this season. Beginning on the 4th of February, we'll have it every Tuesday from 10 to 2. And then on Saturdays, we will have it beginning on the 22nd from 10 to 2. So from then on through tax day, every Tuesday and Saturday.
Tax prep.
Mm-hmm, right. If people need assistance, and it's all free.
The Boyle County Public Library, all kinds of great things going on. You can go to their Facebook page to keep up with all of the activities and events at the Boyle County Public Library on Facebook, or you can dial 238-READ. It's 859-238-7323 for the Boyle County Public Library. Colleen, appreciate you being on. We'll talk to you again later, okay?
Sounds great. Thanks, Joe. Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Colleen Hall with the Boyle County Public Library, and they're on every Tuesday morning here on the show around 8:10 in the morning. Let's see what's going on in this morning's Sort of Sports Report and see what happened yesterday in the sports world. Of course, the big one was the college football playoff yesterday, where Ohio State beat Notre Dame yesterday, and for a brief moment it appeared that there might be a very different game than those who'd favored Ohio State by 8.5 points over Notre Dame in store. After one quarter of play, the Fighting Irish led 7-0. Then Ohio State came back with a vengeance. They scored 31 unanswered thanks to 2 Will Howard touchdown passes, including this one to Jeremiah Smith, which tied the game up at 7 apiece.
2nd and 5, play fake, Howard flips it, Smith's got it, and the freshman just waltzes in as the Buckeyes score to answer the Irish.
Then Quinshawn Judkins rushed for a 9-yard touchdown to give Ohio State a 14-7 lead.
Judkins slips a tackle, Quinshawn Judkins dives for the end zone, and Ohio State makes it 2 for 2 and takes the lead.
Judkins would score his 2nd touchdown of the night on a 6-yard touchdown pass from Will Howard.
Howard looking across the middle and has space, takes up, touchdown! Sneaking open was Quinshawn Judkins. And Ohio State stretches the lead with a 3rd long touchdown drive tonight.
With the score 31-23, the Buckeyes managed to score a field goal with 26 seconds left, giving them a 34-23 win, which thrilled anyone who took Ohio State to beat that 8.5-point spread. Ryan Day talking about overcoming the obstacles and winning the college football championship.
The story gets to get told now, and it's a great story about a bunch of guys who have just overcome some really tough situations. And there's a point where there's a lot of people that counted us out, and we just kept swinging and kept fighting. It's the reason why you get into coaching, is to see guys overcome things, learn life lessons, and then reach their dreams. This is what happened tonight.
Yeah, here's the final call as Ohio State beat Notre Dame 34-23.
The longest, toughest postseason climb in the history of the sport. And after all that, it's Ohio State together at the mountaintop. Champions of college football.
There you go. An hour before kickoff at the college football championship game, the cheapest ticket in the door would have been about $4,000, and that's before fees were tacked on. However, once inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, prices were much more fan-friendly. It's because the game was in Atlanta, and the Mercedes-Benz Stadium has really affordable concession prices. A regular domestic beer costs just $5, a large premium beer $10.50, a hot dog just $2, a whole pizza only costs you $18. One slice of pepperoni costs $3. On X/Twitter, Mercedes-Benz Stadium proudly exclaimed, no matter how big the event, we'll have the same quote, #fans first concession prices available as it should be. What else is going on in the sports world? We've got it for you with the Kentucky News Network, filling in for the Big Daddy, Steve Bertram, and their sports reports coming up right after this, and Randy Ism's on here as well with Randy Graham.
score on the Kentucky News Network. I'm Gus Allen. The highly anticipated college football national championship with the newly formed field of 12 came to a conclusion last night with Ohio State getting redemption of sorts.
Howard back to throw. Sets up, looks all over, takes off running. Will now throws into the end zone wide open, and it's Judkins with a catch for the score. Will Howard started to run right up the middle, but he finds Quinshon Judkins on a 6-yard TD pass play.
The call on the Ohio State Sports Network as Quinshon Judkins with one of his 3 touchdowns to help the Buckeyes dispatch Notre Dame and capture the national championship 34-23 in Atlanta. The win caps a comeback for Ohio State, who lost a shocker to their rival Michigan on November 30th, in which the Buckeyes were 21-point favorites, and Coach Ryan Day's job was questioned by many. Day said after the game he believes this is one of the greatest teams ever.
They've cemented themselves in Ohio State history, the 9th national champ and the 3rd really in the last 50 years. There's been some great teams in the last 50 some odd years at Ohio State. Great teams, great players. Only 3 have been national champs, and these guys are one of them.
Quinshon Judkins had 121 all-purpose yards to go along with his 3 scores on the night. Ohio State claimed their 9th national title in program history with the win. The Buckeyes got out to a 31-7 lead before Notre Dame closed within 8 points with 4:15 remaining, but a Buckeye field goal in the final minute cemented the win. Notre Dame finishes 14-2 on the year. The AP Top 25 basketball poll is out, and welcome back Louisville to the list. The Cardinals come in at number 25 and enter the poll for the first time in nearly 3 years. Kentucky moved down 1 spot to number 9 after a win over Texas A&M and a loss to Alabama. Unanimous number 1 was Auburn, followed by Duke, Iowa State, Alabama, and Florida. Tennessee is 6th, followed by Houston, Michigan State, Kentucky at 9th, and Marquette to round out the top 10. Speaking of Louisville, they're in action tonight against SMU at 9 p.m. I'm Gus Allen, KNN Sports.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Country music superstar Blake Shelton presents Friends and Heroes 2025. One legendary night of country music that you won't want to miss. Blake Shelton. Live at Rupp Arena February 27th. Featuring special appearances by Craig Morgan. Dina Carter. And Trace Adkins. With special guest Emily Ann Roberts. Rupp Arena, February 27th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Blake Shelton, Friends and Heroes 2025. Featuring special appearances by Craig Morgan, Dina Carter, and Trace Adkins. With special guest Emily Ann Roberts. Produced by Messina Touring Group and AEG Presents.
Step into Papa's Quick Stop across from the Boyle County Fairgrounds and discover the enchanting world of Candleberry candles in the huge Candleberry Corner. Refresh your world with our array of fresh cargo scents for cars for $1.99, tantalizing tarts $7.99, and delightful room sprays for $9.50. Small jars are $14.99, large jars $25.99, grand candy jars for $89.99, and a large selection of cookie jars for that special someone at $159.99. Visit us at Papa's Quick Stop across from the Boyle County Fairgrounds for an exhilarating experience.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jack, thanks for that, buddy. Brought to you by Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency. Proudly representing the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Call Mark or Chris. They'd love to give you a free quote. 859-236-6686. Cloudy skies and snow flurries are possible on this very, very cold Tuesday for you. High today, 19, -1. Tonight is the air temperature, and we've got wind chills at 4 below zero right now. Increasing clouds tomorrow, 27's the high. On Thursday, mostly sunny and 34. Friday, mostly sunny and 31. It's 8:23 in the morning, 6.5 degrees, and again, wind chill at 4 below zero. And Randy Graham is in studio giving us his thoughts. It's Randyisms on the Joe Show.
Good morning, Sir Joe in the Know, and what another great day it is to get up and get at 'em. Well, Joe, it's official. The Lion King has been inaugurated as our new president, while the Lying King, meaning Joe Biden, Lord of the Mumbles, is out. A great day for America. Yes, a new beginning. It's morning time in America again. A phrase that was often repeated in commercials during the Reagan years after the debacle of the Jimmy Carter presidency. That ironically mirrored Joe Biden's The Lion King, where we had the highest inflation in 40 years since Jimmy Carter. But Biden, in typical fashion, after previously stating he would not pardon his son Hunter, but tops it all off with pardoning his entire family, including brother Jim and his sister, although they've never been charged with anything, right before Trump made his inauguration speech. So Trump would not be able to say anything about it to the world. I mean, Joe, you can't make this stuff up. An act that Biden had said 4 years earlier was a proof of guilt when he referred to Trump possibly pardoning his children in advance of being charged. And something Senator Chuck Schumer had said was illegal 4 years ago. Yes, the lying king. So appropriate, Lord of the Mumbles. Which even prompted a liberal CNN commentator to state that through this act, Biden had forever tainted his presidency. Of course, Trump didn't miss his opportunity to pardon or commutate over 1,500 of the January 6 prisoners who he calls hostages and I call political prisoners. And I'm sure some didn't like it. But just like after Moses spent 40 years in the household of Pharaoh in Egypt, then 40 years in Midian before being called back at age 80 to lead his people out of Egypt as slaves. I'm sure there were Egyptians, just like many Americans, that did not like the fact that the Pharaoh let Moses' people go, where Moses would lead them another 40 years before his death at age 120. There's that number 40 again. But even with this knowledge, Joe, in the cold across the country, causing ceremonies to be brought indoors, first time in 40 years, there's that number 40 again. But the cold could not dampen the spirits of Americans, as America could sense and feel the rays of sunshine. Just like often shared here on this segment of the Happy Station, whether it's cloudy or stormy outside or not, we can always carry the sunshine in our heart. Yes, rule number one in maintaining a good attitude is not to allow our attitude to be determined by the weather. Just as we can rejoice that in God's timing, Trump returned as Lord of the Jungle, replacing Scar, the Lord of the Mumbles. Yeah, Joe, the last time they held the inauguration indoors, because due to the cold, was in Ronald Reagan's second term. By the way, Joe, there's a great picture of Ronald Reagan as president in the reception line at the White House, shaking hands with one of his guests, who happens to be, yes, Donald Trump, as obviously a much younger man. I think that was perhaps coincidental, and as such more a physical act of man, meaning mankind, or a spiritual one, all in God's timing. I'd say most would consider it coincidental. Although it was shared here before that the Bible tells us that God intervenes in the lives of countries and leaders. Just like when the Bible tells us that when the time had come, the Son of Man, meaning Jesus, the King of Kings and the real leader of the world, was born. But do you ever think about why God had chosen those words to be written and protected down through the ages? But being a PK or preacher's kid, I'm sure you have, Joe. But why would it be put there? I mean, what does it mean? You know, the Bible tells us to search for the nuggets of gold found between the lines of the Scripture. In other words, the unwritten lessons that are not always so obvious. Yeah, study to show thyself approved. A workman needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. But just like everything physical and material in the Old Testament can be represented by something heavenly and spiritual in the New Testament, in the same way, I believe we can also find the nuggets of gold between the lines of life, in what we define as the modern era. Of course, every generation considers their time to be the modern day, just like the old Statler's Brothers song that said the class of 57 had its dream. Yeah, but every graduating class at that moment in time thinks it's their class that will change the world. But indeed, the Bible tells us that God holds the hearts of the kings, meaning the leadership, in his hands, and intervenes in the lives of country. Furthermore, it tells us that although times change, his word does not, because it's reared in truth. I mean, you don't think it was coincidental when in June the 6th, 1944, on the day of the D-Day invasion, when President Roosevelt led the nation in national prayer for victory, and many going to church that day to pray, when Germany had panzers, meaning tanks, waiting to be unleashed upon the Allied forces on the beaches, that God did not harden the heart of Adolf Hitler, who had put himself over the decisions of his generals and how to lead the military affairs, who said the tanks could not be released without his orders, before also giving orders that he was going to bed and he should not be awakened. allowing time for the Allied forces to gain a foothold on the beaches. I mean, isn't that a great example and proof that God holds the hearts of the kings in his hand, while also knowing our prayers before we even say them? Yes, God knew one day there would be a cry out for deliverance from Nazi Germany after the Jews had been scattered by the Roman Empire after an unsuccessful uprising, where they took them into slavery and scattered them across their empire, and as a result, populating the European countries. But even previous to this time, Israel had gone into slavery 3 times for 40 years each time. There's that number 40 again. But this time it would be for over 2,000 years, until there was such a persecution during the Holocaust that they would cry out to God to once again deliver them. Yeah, God knew their prayers before they were asked and knew that he would need to raise up a nation that would be able to deliver them. And thus America was born. Just like in Holland, where a young Jewish teenager, Anne Frank, author of The Diary of a Young Girl Hiding with Her Family in Holland upon learning of the D-Day invasion, wrote with excitement that he read off the pages, the Americans had landed. She did not write the Scottish, Irish, or African Americans had landed, only the Americans, perhaps unwittingly relating a truth that it is not our diversity that makes America great, but freedom. The same freedom that she saw as her deliverance. She did not see race, because diversity is not America's greatest strength. No, freedom is. It is freedom that brought people of different diversities into one group of like minds, just like in the election of a new president. So God knew there would be a time that prayers would be asked, so America was born 150 years earlier, to help fulfill in his timing after the war the new Israelite nation scattered for thousands of years, being reborn in 1948. God's word, prophecy, once again coming true. But that number 40, Joe, do you know the Bible referenced that 158 times? So what did God mean when he said the time had come, the Son of Man, or Jesus, was born? Well, the Roman Empire had come to its height, where there was no wars to interfere with the gospel being shared. Rome was a great builder of roads, and they were protected by Roman soldiers. Yeah, when the time had come, the Son of Man was born. But got to thinking about number 40, when talking last week about Samson leading the Israelites after 40 years of captivity, and then seeing the photograph of Donald Trump shaking hands with Ronald Reagan in a reception line. You know, the Bible tells us that Jesus was tempted for 40 days in the desert. Noah in the ark, it rained for 40 days and nights. There must be something to that number 40. Bible scholars say it often refers to a period of testing, trial, or probation in the Bible. I mean, even the prophet Ezekiel, when Israel had divided into 2 nations, that he was told by God to sleep 40 nights on his left side for the sins of the divided nation, while sleeping 40 days on the right side for the other. But do you think the number 40 applies in times today, just like the Bible tells us that God holds the hearts of the kings in his hands? Franklin Graham, son of Billy Graham, as well as other pastors, believe so, as Trump's life was spared in the last second by the turning of his head from a would-be assassin's bullet. That's why I find it interesting that after 40 years of the start of World War II, that Ronald Reagan would first be elected as the 40th president of the United States. And 40 years later, Donald Trump would be elected to his second term as well. So it was nice to see, I thought, due to the code, that the inauguration was held indoors, where the entire world could witness America's rebirth of freedom, something that had not happened at Ronald Reagan's second inauguration 40 years ago. Does God intervene in the lives of nations and leaders? I believe God makes it that simple. Yes, just like everything physical and material in the Old Testament can be represented by something heavenly and spiritual in the New Testament, the nuggets of gold found between the lines of the Scriptures can also be found between the lines of life. I believe it's just that simple.
Randy Graham, the thoughts of Randy Graham. Those are Randy Graham's thoughts. Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on The Joe Show at this time at 8:32 in the morning. We've got a local news break coming up. We've got Wedding Planning with Pim as well. And James the Gardener will be on here giving us a gardening tip coming up next.
Whether you're looking for affordable lunch specials with coworkers, We're in the mood for a delicious dinner with family and friends. Your Danville Applebee's offers dining options you'll love. For delivery, call 859-936-7400. That's 936-7400 for a list of delivery options. Try the new and improved takeout car side to go. Simply order online, schedule your pickup time, and get it in the designated to-go spaces. Always eating good in the neighborhood. You'll enjoy Applebee's on the Danville Bypass.
Hi, it's Daryl, the cigar sommelier and owner of Smokin' Bourbon. I know you guys have been waiting, but the wait is over. We are now open for business. So come on down to Smokin' Bourbon, where you can smoke, sip, and chill.
Central Kentucky's newest cigar bar in Danville by the bowling alley in the Greenleaf Shopping Center. This big boss atmosphere is veteran-owned with connoisseur quality cigars and bourbon, creating a social destination. For more information, go to smoke-in-bourbon.com.
Now open.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Temperatures near 0 degrees and sub-zero wind chills. Those numbers have again allowed Boyle County Emergency Management Agency to open a warming shelter. It will be where it was the last few rounds, at a gathering place on Jean Drive. The hope is to keep the warming shelter open through Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. However, volunteers will be needed for 4-hour shifts. If you can volunteer some time, you can sign up for a time slot by going to the City of Danville Facebook page and following the link. The Mercer County Fire Protection District is raising taxes, with Chief Glenn Phillips saying that it is a, quote, have-to case. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the Mercer Fire District is raising their tax rate from 80 cents per $1,000 in assessed value to $1 per $1,000. Simple math, for property valued at $100,000, it would raise that owner's property tax bill from $80 to $100. Phillips says that anything attached to the fire department is doubling in price. For example, a tanker that was purchased in 2020 for $250,000 now costs about $470,000. He said emission standards have also changed, and that adds another $80,000 in cost as well. The Mercer County Sanitation District says they're working on the Gwen Island Road project. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the project was started last March when the Sanitation District received more than $2.2 million in funding from the EPA's Sewer Overflow and Stormwater Rescue Municipal Grant Program. That project will eliminate 129 residential septic systems, 6 holding tanks, and create 2 new pump stations on Harrington Lake. However, a year since the funding was announced and the bidding for the project hasn't even begun. Executive Director of the Mercer County Sanitation District, Mike Sanford, said the holdup is because of easements. The project must be finished by 2026. And the Danville Police Department released their year-end numbers for 2024. Those numbers show they responded to more than 16,000 events last year alone. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Running a business isn't easy, and if you want to reach new customers, you've got to get your message out. Hi, I'm Don, and here are some marketing fast facts to help you grow your business. So, do you know which media dominates the marketplace? It's radio. Radio is the #1 mass reach media. 93% of the population listens to radio. Radio reaches more people than TV, Google, Facebook, Twitter, newspaper, or Yellow Pages. Also, radio dominates in the car. Potential customers don't surf the internet, watch TV, or read a newspaper while driving. Radio reaches consumers as they travel to stores to make shopping decisions. You know, no other media can make that claim. And radio has the strongest ROI of any other media. Radio has an average ROI of $10 of incremental sales for every dollar spent. Your dollars work harder with radio. So, where do you start? Call us today and find out how radio can help grow your business.
Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to advertisecentralkentucky.com. That's advertisecentralkentucky.com.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at Dexter and Right Meyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency. They proudly represent the Auto Owners Insurance Agency. Ask if auto owners make sense for you. Call Mark or Chris for a free quote, 859-236-6686. Chance of flurries today, a high of 19, a low tonight of 1 below 0. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, high of 27, low of 19, 3 below tomorrow. And Thursday, mostly sunny and 34. It's 8:39 in the morning. It is 7 degrees on this Tuesday, the 21st day of January, 012125 on your calendar. And so glad to have you on the Joe Show this morning. We welcome you back from the bottom hour break with a little wedding planning with Pim. Take it away, Pimmy.
Hi, I'm Pim Stewart-Clark, and this is Wedding Planning with Pim. Go ahead. Kid yourself into thinking your wedding guest list will be a painless process. The fact is, prioritizing your friends, your parents' friends, relatives, and coworkers is never easy. And just know, people will get their feelings hurt. Some will assume their invitation is +1 when it isn't. Someone will ask to bring her 10-year-old son and his cousin visiting from out of town to your elegant 21 and over dinner and dancing reception. It's hard, but in situations like this, just say no. You have to draw the line somewhere, especially if you're on a tight budget. More people equals more invites, which equals more of everything, and the costs carry over in unlikely ways. How many favors will you have to provide? How many programs will you need? Place cards? How many slices of cake? How many tables, linens, plates, and chairs will you need to rent? Adding 8 people could require setting up a new table with an additional set of rentals, another centerpiece, and more chairs. And what about the food and the drinks? The truth is, eliminating 20 people could save you thousands of dollars. The number of people you invite is the single most important factor in determining your budget. So after he pops the question and you say yes, sit down and make out your guest list. My love note for today, doing the guest list can be the hardest part of planning a wedding.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available in both tablets and as a delicious gummy. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Serving Boyle County seniors a gathering place.
Our Meals on Wheels program is designed for seniors 60 and up in Boyle County who struggle with food insecurity. If you think you may be eligible, call us at 859-236-2070, thegatheringplace.org, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook for more info.
Serving Boyle County seniors a gathering place.
Do you set a good safety example for your child on the farm? Your child will respond to your concern for safety if they see you practicing safety in your daily routine. Always follow the one seat, one rider rule by not allowing any extra riders. Stop equipment when a non-working person approaches. Follow all equipment safety instructions and remember to reinforce safety rules. These simple acts will help ensure your child is aware that safety comes first on the farm.
Listen to WHIR online at hometownlive.net, powered by Kentucky, YMAX.com.
8:43 in the morning. It is Tuesday, the 21st day of January 01/21/25 on your calendar, and so glad to have you on the show this morning. 859-238-WHIR. In his final moments in office, former President Joe Biden issued preemptive pardons for members of his own family and critics of Donald Trump, including Dr. Anthony Fauci. Well, check out this ad for the brand new Biden Pardon Phone Plan.
Hi, folks. It's former President Biden, the former president. And if you're like me, you like giving people pardons. Well, now there's the Friends and Pardon Me plan from Joe Mobile. That's right. Now you can choose up to 5 friends or family members to pardon, just like I did.
Hi, it's Dr. Fauci, and I didn't even realize that I did anything that I need to be pardoned for. But Joe Biden put me on a Friends and Pardon Me plan from Joe Mobile. And now I'm pardoned. And a few other people are too. With more towers all over the country, Joe Mobile offers more coverage and more pardoning power. Hey, speaking of coverage, cover up those faces and wear a mask. What is wrong with you people?
What are you waiting for, man? Get pardoned and pardon other people with the Friends and Pardon Me plan from Joe Mobile. Try it today, man.
Yeah, let's see what's going on in GrubCat, the world of food where you can always just eat it. Here we go. Arby's has a new promotion offering 4 of their fan-favorite menu items for a price of just $2.50 each. The deal available through February 2nd, 2025, exclusively for in-store pickup orders through the app or website only. Here are the 4 items that make up the promotion. The classic Arby's roast beef is the classic Arby's roast beef. The classic beef and cheddar, thinly sliced roast beef topped with cheddar cheese sauce and the red ranch on a lightly toasted sesame seed bun. 6-piece nuggets, 6 bite-sized all-meat chicken nuggets. Crispy fry with a seasoned breading and large shake. You can choose any of the large shakes, including chocolate, vanilla, or Jamocha. The deal is redeemable once a week, Monday through Friday, at participating Arby's locations nationwide for a limited time. It's only valid on an a la carte menu item and cannot be combined with any other offers or coupons. Just in time for Valentine's Day, Chick-fil-A is bringing back their fan-favorite heart shake trays, perfect for Valentine's Day or any other special occasion. They'll be available from January 27th through February 22nd while supplies last, and each tray can be filled with 10 chicken minis during breakfast hours only, 30 Chick-fil-A nuggets, 12 chocolate fudge brownie halves, or 6 chocolate chuck cookies, price dependent on which option you choose. Fans are already excited about the return, with Instagram food account @Snackalore posting the return, while other fans commented that, quote, "Can't wait till you get me this," and, quote, "the truest form of love." The heart trays can be purchased at Chick-fil-A restaurants nationwide and at the restaurant. Chick-fil-A also has football-shaped trays at select restaurants nationwide through February 8th to celebrate Super Bowl, which is on February the 9th. It's Super Bowl 59, I believe, this year. And hey, Steak and Shake has recently announced that they're switching back to 100% beef tallow for their French fries, a throwback to the cooking methods of the past. The move, set to roll out all locations by February, swaps out vegetable oil for the rendered fat of cows, known for its high smoke point and subtle flavor boost. While some fans of old-school fast food are cheering, others are raising their eyebrows by the ongoing debate around oils and their health impacts. Whether you're a fry purist or just curious, this shift adds a little old-school tradition to your next side of shoestring. Steak and Shake switches to 100% beef tallow for fries. Chick-fil-A bringing back heart shake trays through February 22nd. Arby's has a $2.50 favorites deal through February 2nd. That's what's going on in the world of food. A little GrubGab action where you can always just eat it. It's 8:47 in the morning, and we see what's going on in the world of music on this date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B. And James the Gardener joins us as well, coming up next.
Danville's deal maker, Bob Allen.
Start the new year in a new Nissan at Bob Allen Nissan. Hi, I'm John Welsh, inviting you to save on the new 25 Nissan Sentra 2.0S model. Lease for only $199 per month for 36 months. 10,000 lease miles per year. Stock in 25042. Then SY 207284. Bob Allen Nissan on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com.
Here's the score on the Kentucky News Network. I'm Gus Allen. The highly anticipated college football national championship with the newly formed field of 12 came to a conclusion last night with Ohio State getting redemption of sorts.
Howard back to throw. Sets up, looks all over, takes off running. Will Howard now throws into the end zone wide open, and it's Judkins with a catch for the score. Will Howard started to run right up the middle, but he finds Quinshon Judkins on a 6-yard TD pass play.
The call on the Ohio State Sports Network as Quinshon Judkins with one of his 3 touchdowns to help the Buckeyes dispatch Notre Dame and capture the national championship 34-23 in Atlanta. The win caps a comeback for Ohio State, who lost a shocker to their rival Michigan on November 30th, in which the Buckeyes were 21-point favorites, and Coach Ryan Day's job was questioned by many. Day said after the game he believes this is one of the greatest teams ever.
They've cemented themselves in Ohio State history, the 9th national champ and the 3rd really in the last 50 years. There's been some great teams in the last 50 some odd years at Ohio State. Great teams, great players. Only 3 have been national champs, and these guys are one of them.
Quinshon Judkins had 121 all-purpose yards to go along with his 3 scores on the night. Ohio State claimed their 9th national title in program history with the win. The Buckeyes got out to a 31-7 lead before Notre Dame closed within 8 points with 4:15 remaining, but a Buckeye field goal in the final minute cemented the win. Notre Dame finishes 14-2 on the year. The AP Top 25 basketball poll is out, and welcome back Louisville to the list. The Cardinals come in at number 25 and enter the poll for the first time in nearly 3 years. Kentucky moved down 1 spot to number 9 after a win over Texas A&M and a loss to Alabama. Unanimous number 1 was Auburn, followed by Duke, Iowa State, Alabama, and Florida. Tennessee is 6th, followed by Houston, Michigan State, Kentucky at 9th, and Marquette to round out the top 10. Speaking of Louisville, they're in action tonight against SMU at 9 p.m. I'm Gus Allen, KNN Sports.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Wow, Tricky's Car Wash is ready to make your vehicle look its very best. Tricky's Car Wash behind Smart Lube off South 4th Street. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, and on Saturdays by appointment. Pickup and delivery service is available. 583-0560. Wash only $15. Wash and interior $25. Wash plus wax plus interior $50. And full detail, talk with Tricky. Tricky's Car Wash, 430 Bay Street, 583-0560. Right behind Smart Lube off South 4th. Tricky's Car Wash.
Discover the power of radio. If you're a business owner and you want to reach new customers, you should consider radio. There are always new customers out there, whether it's from new families moving into the area, changing income levels, lifestyles, or buying habits. To reach that new business, first, they need to know you're there. Discover the power of radio.
Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to advertisecentralkentucky.com. That's advertisecentralkentucky.com.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jack, brought to you by Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at Danville Auto Body Shop, 315 Delahaye Street. Get a free estimate, and they work with their insurance company, fixing water leaks, window motor repair, hail damage, and doing paintless dent repair at Danville Auto Body Shop. Flurries on this Tuesday. A high today of 19, low tonight of 1, below 0. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, a high of 27, low tomorrow night 19, 3 below 0 wind chills. Tomorrow, Thursday, 34 with sunshine. Friday, 31. Saturday, 44. Right now, it's 8:52, and James the Gardener is here.
And now, for the next few minutes, the man with the jolly green thumb and the big straw hat is going to tell us where it's at. Gardening with James, that's the name. Growing good food, that's our aim. Working in our garden every day. Well, we might not be all that pretty, but we don't mind getting all dirty and gritty, growing our food the natural way. Yes, we're gardening with James, the natural way. Let's dig it, James.
James the Gardener. What's going on with James on this Tuesday morning?
Just trying to stay warm, because I think we're up to about 9 degrees at this point.
Yep.
So,
not quite that warm yet. Or it's 7.
Oh, okay.
7 degrees, but we're going the right way, James.
Yeah. Well,
maybe by noon we'll get to 9.
Maybe by noon.
Yeah.
Because, I was telling Rick on our sister station, I said, after I've been out, in the cold, and I'm thinking like, man, it's cold out there. I go in and I put on ice truckers. Those guys who drive from, through Alaska over lakes and ponds.
Bridges and all that, yeah.
I feel better.
Yeah.
Because they're like, 35 degrees minus.
Yeah.
Or 50. And so that's what kind of perks me up just a little bit.
You understand. Could be worse.
It could
not
be
saying it's not cold, but it could be colder.
Yes, it could.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I say, just doing a little salting, and, I guess my thing is there's still ice out there, in shaded areas around people's homes. Make sure that you get out and you clean that up because, I've heard of 3 or 4 people falling and it wasn't good. So pay attention to the ice. If you can't do it, have your grandson or a neighbor or somebody come by, put some salt down, and get your driveway, your walkway in order. A lot of the snow that we had last week is gone. I went out, stopped by the McDowell house the other day because it'd been piled up for like 2 weeks. All we had was like 3 feet of walkway.
Yeah.
Because we weren't able to, take that snow and put it someplace and get rid of it. So, but yeah, yesterday I drove up there and I could see the whole brick sidewalk. That made me feel pretty good. I was like, there's hope.
Yes.
So
love it.
Yeah. So yeah, just stay warm. Dress those kids up nice and warm. Check on your neighbors because, like I say, it's still cold. If you haven't been leaving your water running at night, it'd be a good idea because the cost of repair, for frozen pipes, is going to be costly. And if you haven't disconnected your water hose yet, please do so.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it can cause major problems.
Gardening with James, Tuesdays and Thursdays here on the Joe Show at this time.
Yes, sir.
James, I was talking with Colleen earlier this morning on the show from the library. Told her we've got a frozen pipe connected to our toilet, which I guess the good news for us is that, with the house being newer, the pipes, they use what's called, PEX pipe, P-E-X pipe, and it's a little bit more durable. So I was talking with a buddy who runs a plumbing company, and he said, you don't really have to worry about your pipes bursting necessarily. He said, but, it's really inconvenient.
Yeah.
So the sink right next to it's working fine, but the toilet itself is not working. You have to pour water into the tank to get it to flush.
Right.
And everything else is working in the house.
Okay.
And so got to deal with that right now. And, again, I think it's frozen because that bathroom faces an exterior wall. So it got too cold on it. So That's annoying for us, but we're working our way through it. However, with most of us, even in the country, really dealing with serious cold weather right now, USA Today has put together a list of 6 things that you shouldn't leave in your car when it's below freezing out. So here's a list, James. 6 things you don't leave in your car when it's below freezing. Number 1, aerosol cans.
Yes.
They can explode if they get too cold.
Yes.
So we don't want that to happen. Number 2, canned food. It can make the food inside expand and cause tiny cracks where bacteria gets in. The USDA actually says to toss any canned food that swells from freezing.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't, they suggest tossing it just to be safe.
So
basically,
safe.
if you have canned food items in your car, maybe like you went to the grocery, you're like, I'm tired, I'll get it tomorrow, or you just left a bag in there.
Right.
They say if it freezes, don't even risk it. Just throw it away. Doesn't even have to swell. If it's frozen, throw it out.
I agree.
Number 3, eggs. Don't leave them in the car after you get groceries. If they freeze and the shells crack, they are not safe to eat.
No, they're not.
So eggs, number 3. Number 4, electronics. Things like phones, computers, and tablets don't work well if they get too cold. You can tell if your phone gets too cold. It just runs real slow.
Yeah.
It can also damage the screen, and condensation can form inside the device when it warms back up, which could then cause a short in your device.
Yep, I agree.
Number 5, medication. Some meds like insulin become unstable if they get too cold. When in doubt, toss frozen meds or ask a pharmacist. And then number 6... obviously, the most important thing out of all of this is loved ones. Don't leave those in the car when it's freezing. Kids, pets, and seniors are more vulnerable to cold weather, so even short amounts of time in a freezing car can be dangerous.
Yes, it can.
So there you go. 6 things you shouldn't leave in your car when it's below freezing. Loved ones, medication, electronics, eggs, canned foods. into aerosol cans.
I agree to all those.
There you go. James the Gardener is in agreement. It's 8:58, 2 minutes away from Top Hour News. We're back in a minute and a half on The Joe Show.
This is Daryl, the cigar sommelier and owner of Smoking Bourbon in Danville, Kentucky at the Greenleaf Shopping Center. And here's your cigar tip of the week. This week's tip is pace yourself. On average, a Robusto cigar burns for about 35 to 45 minutes. That's a smaller size cigar. So listen, pace yourself, enjoy the blend of the cigar, and appreciate the commodity that comes with this experience. Stay burning and yearning for next week or stop in, come smoke, sip, and chill at Kentucky's newest bourbon and cigar experience, Smoking Bourbon. Visit our Facebook anytime, Smoking Bourbon, or our website, smoke-and-bourbon.com.
Stop in now to win tickets for our upcoming UK men's basketball game. No purchase necessary, but extra entries for each purchase of cigar or beverage.
Winning is about forcing a turnover. Just like the Wildcats using a full-court press, our energy efficiency programs can force a turnover on high energy costs. Don't ride your bench, be a player. Visit intercountyenergy.net to find out how we can help. Saving energy and money is a slam dunk. Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Catch the best of Sean Hannity, Saturday mornings, 10 to 1 on WHIR.
Hey, 9 o'clock in the morning, we got news coming your way. The Adcuster comes your way as well. It's all next on The Joe Show. 3 hours in and 1 hour to go. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 9 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump has signed an executive order pardoning roughly 1,500 people convicted in the January 6 Capitol riots. Gabriel Garcia, a member of the Proud Boys, who posted a message before the riot that said it was, quote, time to stack those bodies in front of Capitol Hill, celebrated his pardon.
And I'm glad now that we finally have a president, not just because of the pardon state, but I have a feeling that our country is going to be a lot better under Trump once again.
In his first time back in the Oval Office since being sworn in as president, Trump signed the pardon for the defendants he often called hostages. He said he also signed commutations of sentences for 6 defendants. Another one of the first orders signed by the president requires federal employees to return full-time in office work and freezes federal hiring except for positions needed for national security, the military, and public safety. Major airlines are delaying and canceling flights as they prepare for a winter storm that could bring snow and ice to the Gulf Coast. Mark Mayfield with more.
8 states have a heavy snow and ice forecast for late Monday into Wednesday, with winter storm warnings and advisories in place. American Airlines is waiving fees and posting travel alerts for roughly 40 states. Delta Airlines has a Gulf Coast winter weather advisory through Wednesday posted, while JetBlue, United, and Southwest are also notifying customers of potential delays and cancellations. I'm Mark Mayfield.
The Senate passed the Laken-Riley Act on Monday, sending it on to the House.
On this vote, the yeas are 64, the nays are 35. The bill, as amended, is passed.
The bill is aimed at expanding the federal government's mandate to detain immigrants who are in the country illegally. The Laken-Riley Act is named after a Georgia nursing school student who was murdered last year by an illegal immigrant. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Safe drivers see clearly. That's why starting January 1st, 2025, a new Kentucky law requires vision screening for anyone renewing a driver's license.
Clearly, the focus is on safer roadways.
Simply bring a completed vision screening form from your vision specialist to any driver licensing regional office, or get free vision screening at the time of renewal.
To view the details, visit drive.ky.gov.
I see what you did there.
A message from Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
Day 1 of my gym membership. And so far, the treadmill is winning. Will I keep my New Year's resolution to get in shape? Talk to me in February. I'm not a fan of exercise, but one thing I always exercise is good judgment behind the wheel. That means fastening my seatbelt and driving distraction-free. Buckle up and put the phone down. Is it too late to switch my resolution to, I don't know, give up sweets?
Brought to you by Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
New York officials are concerned about mass deportation plans from President Trump and are reacting to his immigration executive orders. More from Scott Pringle in New York.
The State Attorney General Letitia James says she'll always protect the legal rights of immigrants and their families and communities, and is reviewing the state's legal options when it comes to Trump's immigration executive orders. Immigrant rights advocate Power Malou is taking action.
What we're going to be doing is making sure that we go around to the different shelters and to the different sites, and we want to make sure that the city is not cooperating with ICE.
New York City Comptroller Brad Lander says Trump's mass deportation agenda is a family separation policy that will harm the health of New York City residents.
Political analysts say the confirmation of Florida Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State could be good news for India. Ishan Garg reports.
Rubio had introduced a bill in the U.S. Congress last year asking for India to be treated on par with other U.S. allies such as Israel and South Korea, and analysts believe it's a sign that under the Trump presidency, U.S. could be more inclined to share weapons technology and equipment with New Delhi.
Analysts say Rubio and President Trump are seen as being tough on China, and that could help India counter what it sees as China's growing influence in the Asia-Pacific region. The IRS is cracking down on anyone who fails to report any added income from online sales. Monica Nelson reports.
The IRS may know more about your side hustle. Anyone who earned more than $5,000 in 2024 selling tickets or other goods and services online should expect to get a 1099-K tax form. The Wall Street Journal reports online platforms like eBay and Etsy previously only had to send those forms to users who earn more than $20,000. The IRS warns whether you get a 1099-K or not, if you're in business, you need to report the income.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
On behalf of everyone here at this show, I can tell you we are very grateful for this day, as cold as it might be in the Capitol. I'm here till Wednesday. I can't tell you the reasons why, but I'm here till Wednesday. One of the reasons is we'll have a town hall with Mike Johnson and House Republicans on how they can stay on the same page, what their agenda needs to be successful. But it's a great day for the country. It really is. And the president's speech was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Hard-hitting, a complete and utter 180-degree shift in direction for the country, all for the better. And how anybody could be against it, I'm having a hard time understanding.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
The election is officially over, but is your money still at risk? We still have a staggering $35 trillion in debt. Interest on this debt now costs more than our entire defense budget for the first time in history. On top of that, we're still feeling the consequences of the brutal inflation we saw under Biden and the global chaos ripping across the globe. That's why thousands of concerned Americans are turning to precious metals to help hedge against these threats. And they're reaching out to the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, to make it happen. Goldco has over 6,000 five-star reviews and has helped people just like you purchase over $2.5 billion in gold and silver. Right now, they're offering a free gold and silver kit to help you diversify your savings. Visit HannityGold.com or call 855-815-GOLD to get your copy free of charge. Plus, you could receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Visit HannityGold.com or call 855-815-GOLD. That's HannityGold.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Temperatures near 0 degrees and sub-zero wind chills. Those numbers have again allowed Boyle County Emergency Management Agency to open a warming shelter. It will be where it was the last few rounds, at a gathering place on Jean Drive. The hope is to keep the warming shelter open through Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. However, volunteers will be needed for 4-hour shifts. If you can volunteer some time, you can sign up for a time slot by going to the City of Danville Facebook page and following the link. The Mercer County Fire Protection District is raising taxes, with Chief Glenn Phillips saying that it is a, quote, have-to case. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the Mercer Fire District is raising their tax rate from 80 cents per $1,000 in assessed value to $1 per $1,000. Simple math, for property valued at $100,000, it would raise that owner's property tax bill from $80 to $100. Phillips says that anything attached to the fire department is doubling in price. For example, a tanker that was purchased in 2020 for $250,000 now costs about $470,000. He said emission standards have also changed, and that adds another $80,000 in cost as well. The Mercer County Sanitation District says they're working on the Gwen Island Road project. The Harrisburg Herald reports that the project was started last March when the Sanitation District received more than $2.2 million in funding from the EPA's Sewer Overflow and Stormwater Rescue Municipal Grant Program. That project will eliminate 129 residential septic systems, 6 holding tanks, and create 2 new pump stations on Harrington Lake. However, a year since the funding was announced and the bidding for the project hasn't even begun. Executive Director of the Mercer County Sanitation District, Mike Sanford, said the holdup is because of easements. The project must be finished by 2026. And the Danville Police Department released their year-end numbers for 2024. Those numbers show they responded to more than 16,000 events last year alone. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by
It's brought to you by our friends over at Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency, proudly representing the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Call Mark or Chris, and they'll give you a free quote. Ask if auto owners make sense for you. 859-236-6686. Chance of flurries this afternoon. A high today of 19, a low of 1 below. Wind chill values in the sub-zero area right now. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, 27 and 19. You get 3 below as the wind chill tomorrow. Thursday, sunshine, 34. Right now, it's 9:11 in the morning on this Tuesday, the 21st day of January. It's Adcaster time. Here we go.
Now, the Adcaster Show on WHIR. Buy, sell, trade for free. Phone lines are now open. Call 859-238-WHIR.
Let her go. Ba-diddle-diddle-diddle-doo. Ba-diddle-diddle-diddle-doo. Diddle-diddle-diddle-doo. Diddle-diddle-diddle-doo. The Adcaster. WHIR is the number to call in here this morning for items to buy, sell, swap, trade, and give away on the Adcaster. We have for sale a cedar chest for $100 and a wash stand for $100. 859-325-0712. 859-325-0712. For sale, brand new, still in the box, Bossa brand mini hearing aids for $70. 859-516-2046. 859-516-2046. And for sale, 2 primitive shower curtains, like new, and primitive decor for sale as well. 859-613-9177. 859-613-9177. We'll step aside and come back for the second half of the Adcaster right after this. Here on the Joe Show on WHIR Danville, the halftime show is brought to you by the Big Deals Online Store.
Big deals.
1, 2, 3. Oh, hi, Jenny here. Just counting all the dollars I saved at my local Big Deals online store. What? You haven't saved yet? Get on it. You'll love the great selection of gift certificates at discount prices. They make great gifts, too. And you can shop right from your phone. Nothing satisfies like counting all those savings. Now let me get back to it. 6, 7, 8.
Go to hometownlive.net to shop and save at the Big Deals online store. You can also find links to download the free Big Deals Media app for your phone. Works on Apple and Android cells. Shop quickly and access all your mobile Big Deal certificates easily for redemption. You can also easily send a mobile certificate to someone else to use via email. Check it out and join the thousands that save with Big Deal certificates to local businesses.
Shop and save with Big Deals at hometownlive.net. That's hometownlive.net.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
Hey, second half of the Adcaster right here on the Joe Show on WHIR Danville. News, talk, sports. We have for sale firewood delivered and seasoned. The price depends on the distance they have to drive the firewood to you. For more information, call 502-680-4909. 502-680-4909. For sale, 2 boxed heaters like brand new, 1,500 watt. $75 each. 859-613-6197. 859-613-6197. And for sale, an electric stove for $100. 859-324-9412. 859-324-9412. That's all she wrote, he wrote, and they wrote for this Tuesday morning edition of the Adcaster right here on WHIR Danville. Hey, Gary Fogel's coming your way with Kentucky Sports Memories right after this.
Hello, I'm Gary Fogel. Welcome to Kentucky Sports Memories. And former basketballer Jeff Hall fell in love with 2 things at first sight. But which did he love more?
At Watson's, we've been delivering all the family fun and relaxation to our local community for over 50 years. Our mission is to provide high-quality home recreational products and home furnishings to our customers that bring families and friends together for a break from the daily stresses of life. Shop the largest local selection of in-stock products for your home, inside and out, and get the guaranteed lowest price in the USA. Only at Watson's. We have all the fun.
Jeff Hall was introduced to basketball in the 3rd grade on the playground of his elementary school in northeastern Kentucky, just outside Ashland. He went to high school where he starred in basketball at Fairview High, very small school, then from there on to the University of Louisville, where he was a starter on their 1986 national championship team. Also met his wife there, and he talks about how all that came together.
The day I met my wife at U of L, I didn't know her at all. The very first day I met her, I knew I was going to marry her. And now it's been 39 years later. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And same thing with basketball growing up. I knew that I was going to fit into it some way, whether a player, a coach, a player's agent.
I'm going to ask you a question that might get you into trouble. Which did you love more on day one, basketball or your wife?
Well, my future wife. How's that?
That's a very good answer.
I think that's the smartest answer I can give, but it would be close.
Any married man who tells you they want to stay happily married would say that he indeed picked the right answer. He loved his wife on first sight more than he loved basketball. Even if maybe that wasn't the case, he said the right thing. Hall says that he was a late bloomer sort of in basketball, wasn't really noticed until late in his high school career. Maybe one of the reasons is he had a big growth spurt from his 8th grade to his freshman year, grew from 5'8" to 6'3", and he had to adjust to a different body, and it took him a couple of years to do that. But he really developed into a high school basketball star at Fairview High School, small school outside of Ashland. So how did he end up at U of L after growing up in Big Blue country? Tomorrow he'll talk about that. Gary Fogle, Kentucky Sports Memories.
There, Gary Fogle and KSM, Kentucky Sports Memories, Mondays through Fridays, right here on The Joe Show at this time. It's 9:18 in the morning. Hey, for parents listening, here's a quick snack hack for people with young kids. A new study found that kids will eat more vegetables if they think it gives them superpowers. Researchers in Germany spent 20 minutes reading kids fairy tales that involved magical fruits and vegetables. The hero was either healed or saved by eating them. After the story was done, they offered the kids a chance of 4 different snacks: fruit, vegetables, cake, or cookies. It turned out that those stories made them more likely to choose healthier options. And not just right after they heard it either, it had a lasting effect. 80% of the kids were still eating more fruits and vegetables weeks later. Scientists found a trick to make kids eat their vegetables with more frequency. Just tell them it gives them superpowers. There you go. 9:19 in the morning. We're back after this and see what's gone on this date in music history on The Joe Show.
Here's the score on the Kentucky News Network. I'm Gus Allen. The highly anticipated college football national championship with the newly formed field of 12 came to a conclusion last night with Ohio State getting redemption of sorts.
Howard back to throw. Sets up, looks all over, takes off running. Will Howard now throws into the end zone wide open, and it's Judkins with a catch for the score. Will Howard started to run right up the middle, but he finds Quinshon Judkins on a 6-yard TD pass play.
The call on the Ohio State Sports Network as Quinshon Judkins with one of his 3 touchdowns to help the Buckeyes dispatch Notre Dame and capture the national championship 34-23 in Atlanta. The win caps a comeback for Ohio State, who lost a shocker to their rival Michigan on November 30th, in which the Buckeyes were 21-point favorites, and Coach Ryan Day's job was questioned by many. Day said after the game he believes this is one of the greatest teams ever.
They've cemented themselves in Ohio State history, the 9th national champ and the 3rd really in the last 50 years. There's been some great teams in the last 50 some odd years at Ohio State. Great teams, great players. Only 3 have been national champs, and these guys are one of them.
Quinshon Judkins had 121 all-purpose yards to go along with his 3 scores on the night. Ohio State claimed their 9th national title in program history with the win. The Buckeyes got out to a 31-7 lead before Notre Dame closed within 8 points with 4:15 remaining, but a Buckeye field goal in the final minute cemented the win. Notre Dame finishes 14-2 on the year. The AP Top 25 basketball poll is out, and welcome back Louisville to the list. The Cardinals come in at number 25 and enter the poll for the first time in nearly 3 years. Kentucky moved down 1 spot to number 9 after a win over Texas A&M and a loss to Alabama. Unanimous number 1 was Auburn, followed by Duke, Iowa State, Alabama, and Florida. Tennessee is 6th, followed by Houston, Michigan State, Kentucky at 9th, and Marquette to round out the top 10. Speaking of Louisville, they're in action tonight against SMU at 9 p.m. I'm Gus Allen, KNN Sports.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Dinosaur Zoo Live is an experimental theater production which takes audiences on a prehistoric journey into a new dimension. Roars in on January 25th, 2 p.m. at the Boyle County Performing Arts Center. It features 19 dinosaurs on stage. Children can watch, learn, and interact with the creatures in this fun, educational, and unique presentation. Tickets are on sale now at bcpac.com. bcpac.com. Dinosaur Zoo Live, Saturday, January 25th, 2 p.m. Boyle County Performing Arts Center.
You gotta go with Graceland. Graceland Air.
Graceland Air, a local HVAC company, offers a wide range of services and provides each customer with an effective and long-term solution in both heating and air conditioning repair. They're committed to excellence in every aspect, exceptional quality of service, high standard of integrity. You are the basis of their business, and they service all brands. Go online to graceland-ky.com for more information.
You gotta go with Graceland. Graceland Air. Danville deal maker, Bob Allen.
New Rams cost less at Bob Allen Motor Mall. Lease a new 25 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 for only $279 per month for 42 months. $53.10 plus first payment, taxes and fees due at signing. 7,500 lease miles per year. Lease loyalty required. Stock C25060. Save during the Start Something New sales event at Bob Allen Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com.
As prescription costs rise, many Medicare beneficiaries are having difficulty keeping up. If you or someone you know is finding it difficult to pay for prescriptions, the Kentucky Department for Aging and Independent Living State Health Insurance Assistance Program may be able to help. SHIP counselors can guide you to money-saving prescription assistance programs, including a program that helps pay for Medicare Part D plan costs for limited-income seniors. For more information, call 1-877-293-7447.
We love NASCAR. Catch the races here on WHIR AM 1230.
9:23 in the morning. Yesterday was Blue Monday, which is supposedly the most depressing day of the year. In response, a positivity campaign was launched in the Netherlands to not complain for 30 days. The person who came up with the idea says it's a way to shift your perspective from all the whining, moaning, and negativity. Now, they're calling this a campaign, but in today's lingo, it's really more of a challenge, especially since there's a good chance many of us have already failed that. But this latest notice is an opportunity to start fresh now, starting now for the next 30 days. Don't complain. When you start getting the urge to complain, you're supposed to stop and think, why am I grumbling right now, and is it necessary? And do you really have reason to whine compared to someone less fortunate than you? The challenge is self-policed. The idea is, quote, if you see how often you complain, that's an eye-opener. You can complain about this campaign all you want, but on the bright side, it may not be as insufferable to some as dry January that people are trying to do, go the entire month without drinking alcohol. The Blue Monday Challenge, you go 30 days without complaining. That's the challenge that's been issued by someone in the Netherlands. Hey, the inauguration ceremony of President Donald Trump happened yesterday, the start of a very long and very busy day.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
There you go. During his inaugural speech, Trump promised to put America first.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
There you go. Now, during the ceremony, Carrie Underwood was scheduled to sing America the Beautiful, but there was a malfunction with the backing music, which led Underwood to have to tell the crowd of lawmakers to, quote, help me out if you know the words, and then delivered what most say was an incredible performance of the song, America the Beautiful. There are some stories coming out that she did not handle the entire thing very well. The Daily Mail claims she had a mini hissy fit afterward. They quoted an unnamed source who said she was dissatisfied with the performance, and not just because of the glitch. She was also expecting more of like a stage to be able to sing on. Quote, she felt that she was not afforded the same level of respect or admiration that previous performers like Beyonce and Lady Gaga had. They also said she was annoyed she was just on the floor, didn't even have a platform or anything to sing on. The event did get moved inside last minute, however, because of the cold, so that obviously changed things up. The source said she saved it from being a total disaster, though, and was proud of how she handled it, but afterwards was kind of upset. I don't blame her. inauguration. How many hundreds of millions of people are watching you or whatever, and they can't even get the music track right in the background. They should have hired Dusty to do it.
They should have. If Dusty had been there, it would have worked.
Dusty was he was like second string. That's why he's not here today. He was like the standby sound guy, right? They got to have standbys in case the other sound guy can't make it, has a medical emergency, whatever. So Dusty was the standby guy there. Had he been doing it, it would have gone off without a hitch, but Dusty wasn't doing it. So that's why there are problems. Now, in terms of the swearing-in ceremony, when President Trump took his oath of office, there's not controversy necessarily, but people talking about how Trump did not place his hand on the Bible that his wife was holding as he took the oath of office. Now, there's a couple of reasons, I think, for that. First of all, Melania Trump didn't even make it to her husband's side once Chief Justice John Roberts began the oath, which is probably one of the reasons why Trump didn't have his hand on the Bible. The First Lady was carrying the Lincoln Bible that President Abraham Lincoln used to take the oath in 1861, and the president's personal Bible given to him by his mother. So she was late making it up to the stage next to him. They'd already begun the oath of office. Now, if you're wondering, does it count? Because my brother texted me yesterday and said, doesn't count, his hand wasn't on the Bible. He was joking around. But does it count? Or does it not count? Far from being a requirement, Article 6, Clause 3 of the U.S. Constitution does say officials are bound, quote, by oath or affirmation, unquote, and continues to say, quote, no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the U.S. So, no, you do not have to have your hand on the Bible.
I was going to say, because what if you weren't Christian?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly right. Right, freedom of religion. So you don't have to have your hand on the Bible. It still counts. He still took the oath. And yes, he is still the president. So those are some things that happened there yesterday at the inauguration. President Trump went to work immediately yesterday, signed an order declaring a national emergency on the southern border, another declaring an end to birthright citizenship. He also signed an executive order rescinding 78 Biden-era executive orders and presidential memoranda. He signed a regulatory freeze to prevent the issuance of any more federal regulations pending their review, and also approved a freeze on all federal government hiring as well, amongst many other things. President Donald Trump took the oath of office, the 47th president. That happened yesterday. It's 9:30. Here's news.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Moments before he left office, former President Biden pardoned the former chair of the Kentucky Democratic Party.
Jerry Lundergan was among several people receiving presidential pardons on Inauguration Day. Lundergan was convicted of providing illegal corporate campaign contributions to his daughter Allison Lundergan Grimes' failed 2014 U.S. Senate campaign. Lundergan was convicted in 2019 and was sentenced to 21 months in prison. He was released from custody without serving his full sentence, having suffered a debilitating stroke. The Biden administration says the 77-year-old Lundergan has demonstrated remorse. Lundergan served in the Kentucky House of Representatives in the 1980s and was chairman of the Kentucky Democratic Party on 2 occasions. I'm Jack Crumley.
In Louisville, a child is recovering after being grazed by a stray bullet while inside his home. Police were alerted early Monday morning by a shot spotter that gunfire was heard on Bank Street in the Portland neighborhood. A 12-year-old boy was transported to Norton Children's Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have not yet named a suspect in the case, and anyone with any sort of information is asked to contact police. KKK flyers were reportedly spread across the northern Kentucky area.
Tri-state communities found recruiting flyers for the Ku Klux Klan in their neighborhoods during Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Fox 19 obtained 3 of them, one advertising a mass event for February, a second one attacking Dr. King, and the last one urging immigrants to flee the country before a mass deportation event on the 20th, while the numbers led to a voicemail asking for money. Ludlow police called the flyers hateful garbage and plan to seek criminal charges. Fort Wright stated they will not tolerate intimidation. Bellevue police are investigating while planning to file littering and illegal posting signage charges. Any information should be directed to your local department. I'm Lee Mowen.
And I'm Taryn Johnson.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Do you have over $10,000 in credit card debt? If you're feeling the financial impact with unprecedented economic challenges, Debt Blue is here for you. With Debt Blue's Success Guarantee, you pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved.
I'm just living sky high right now. I'm very thankful for it, and the team at Debt Blue are phenomenal. They're able to work with you. They're great.
Call for your free debt resolution information now. 800-200-6895. 800-200-6895.
Former CIA officer Jason Hansen here. As someone who's dedicated my life to protecting people, I know the importance of guarding what matters most. Right now, with global instability and the dollar's declining value, that means securing your financial assets with gold. For me, I trust Advantage Gold with my own investments. Give them a call at 800-900-8000 for a 100% free gold guide. Again, call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicated for future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Do you need a loan to start that new home remodeling project? Maybe you are buying a new home or refinancing your existing home. Whatever type of loan you need, Farmers National Bank is here to help you. Getting started is easy. Stop by a Farmers National Bank office in Danville, Bergen, Harrodsburg, Junction City, Lancaster, Liberty, Middleburg, Perryville, and Stanford, and talk to a member of our lending staff. Farmers National Bank, your lifetime bank. Some restrictions may apply. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Planning a wedding? Paying for a wedding? Attending a wedding? Hi, this is Pam Fitzgerald Clark with Wedding Planning with Pam, inviting you to join us Monday through Friday after the 8:30 morning news on WHIR AM 1230. I'll give you sound wedding planning advice and money-saving tips, information you need, and you'll get it all right here at your favorite radio station, WHIR AM 1230.
So creamy it melts in your mouth. Mom Blakeman's candy. Delicious flavors of family tradition. Old-fashioned candy since 61. Light, rich, creamy, made by hand. A southern treat, a Kentucky brand. Mom Blakeman's Candy.com. So creamy it melts in your mouth. Mom Blakeman's Candy.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Cars you can give a low down payment. No credit, low credit, big save. You should call right now, stop wait.
This is your man, Jay Park, the Chrysler Lawrenceburg, 1181 bypass South Lawrenceburg, Kentucky 40342. Come on through, I'll make it do what it do. Deals is amazing. Round this way, 502-839-2012. It's amazing.
This Joe Show weather report brought to you by...
All right, Jack. Thanks for that, buddy. Brought to you by Howard Carpenter Flooring Outlet in Harrisburg, specializing in discount waterproof vinyl flooring, hardwood tile, and carpet remnants. Shop and save on all types of floor coverings. Howard Carpenter Flooring Outlet, 540 North College Street. All right, you get cloudy skies and rain showers and snow flurries possible. Really more so snow than rain because it's so cold. High of 19, -1 is the low tonight. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, a high of 27, low of 19, 3 below zero wind chills. On Wednesday, Thursday, mostly sunny, and a high of 34. Right now, we are looking at 9:35 in the morning, 8 degrees here on this Tuesday, the 21st day of January.
The following is a paid program.
And we welcome onto the show Ann Yeager from Stitt Funeral Home.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ann Yeager. How are you?
I want you to know last night I walked into the hospital. Someone had just died, and their spouse looked at me and asked me if I was going to do the Joe Show. What we're going to talk about on the Joe Show. Yeah.
Wow.
That's one of the first things after I gave him a hug. It's one of the next things that we talked about was the Joe Show.
Well,
I just want you to know that you were being thought of.
Yeah.
And he said we listen every week.
Good. Well, prayers for that family. Obviously, they're lost, but we appreciate them listening. And
but yes, that's what he and I were.
And you said, well, I can't let the listeners down.
I said, yes, I'm going to be talking about Valentine's tomorrow. And he just looked at me and I said, I know, but when you're a funeral home, and you've had deaths, and your families need flowers, and the florists aren't answering their phones because it's Valentine's. So if anyone saw my PSA yesterday or the day before on my stories about order your flowers now, that's why. Because the 2 days before, like we try not to have funerals on Valentine's because nobody needs to associate that date necessarily with a funeral of their loved one. And there's some of these dates throughout the year that it's better to not associate with a funeral. Because it's that holiday's going to be hard enough anyway. So, but I have been on a campaign this year that if your spouse, if your partner, if your significant other, if your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is that you love, if it means something to them, please go ahead and order. If you're ordering flowers,
okay.
Because I've literally had to text florist the day before Valentine's. I'm like, answer. I'm gonna. This person's getting ready to call you. Please answer, because some of them take their phones off the hook.
Yeah, because
at
they're
a certain
so busy.
point. Yeah, because they can't take any more orders. And I've literally had to text florists on their cell phones, or like somebody who works in the flower shop who might actually answer theirs, because some florists won't answer theirs because they get so many calls on their personal cell phone. And be like, I need a casket spray. I still have a family who's had a death, and we still have to do all the regular stuff, even though I know this is your busiest.
And I've never thought of that. But
3 days of the year.
Yeah, florists who are already busy doing like flowers for Valentine's Day and are overrun.
They've got hundreds going out, and then I need a casket
Then you need
spray.
casket spray or flower. People are calling for a funeral and things like that.
And
Which
then-
they're gracious for the business, obviously grateful, but like they can only do so much.
Right. It's one of those things. That's why someone was like, why are you already talking? I was like, because you don't understand what this means to me. Like anything that I can do to help the local businesses will help my families, because the more people who order ahead of time and they know exactly what they need to have, the easier it is to fulfill those orders, which is easier for inevitably I have and like roses are, way more expensive the month of February. So starting like literally the 1st of February, I have to kind of warn my families. If you want a red rose casket spray, it's going to be much more expensive this month. So let me get you in to see the florist to talk about what flowers and what's available and yada. Because with Valentine's Day, it's like it just sucks everything out.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, if you're a person,
go ahead and get your name on the list.
If your person is one of those people who expects flowers, expects stuff, if that's their love language, they need that, which is 100% okay. Like that's, for some people, I'm acts of service. I would prefer, which works out perfectly, I'd prefer my husband cook me dinner and clean the kitchen. Okay, so someone tell Alex. That's what I want.
Alex, if you're listening, come on.
He's not. He's on his way to Northern Kentucky. But that's really important to some people, and that's great. Drives our local economy. Number one, shop local, and Funeral Homes Facebook page, the Funeral Homes website has all of the local florists. There's a whole page of them, and I've been posting on my stories, and I'll try to save those and put them in my highlights. So on my Instagram. So please, shop early, shop local.
Shop early and shop often.
Shop early and shop local. Yeah.
Now you, Ann Yeager, you said you had it's been busy for you the last 12 hours or so.
Yes.
Which has sparked a question for me in my head to ask you. Because, someone dies, you get a call, you respond to the death. How, and maybe this, I'm sure it's happened to you personally, how do you handle it? Maybe like it's been someone has died. It's a shocking death, a surprise death, right? It was a car wreck. It was something like that, right? An accident. And how do you handle that as a funeral director, especially if you know the individual, where like maybe you just talked to them last week, you saw them last week or yesterday or 2 days ago, and then suddenly now you're getting a call and that individual has died. You're the funeral director. You have to handle the arrangements. Has that?
I got that call this morning.
Okay.
I refer to the person as uncle.
Oh wow. And I had no idea. This was just a question that she just told me she had a certain number of deaths in the last 12 hours.
Most people, he said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm tired. I've had 4 deaths in the last 12 hours. I've been up all night." So on we have an answering service that answers my phone after hours, and that way they will keep calling the three of us, the three of us that are mainly on call, until they get one of us, and that way, I know we never miss a call. We're never without service, anything like that. And so if I hear it, because it makes this little tone when someone has died and that call is coming in, and so if it wakes me up, this this morning I was basically already awake. I had not gotten back to sleep. So
Yeah.
I was basically awake, and I heard the tone go off, and I grabbed my phone and I sat up, and I can actually listen and take over those calls if I can get it fast enough. So as soon as I heard the name, I took the call over, and I knew exactly, they don't have to tell me anymore, because I have all of his family in my phone. So, but then the worst part is I had to call my mom and tell her, and they're really good friends, and calling mom just broke my heart. Calling mom and telling my daughter, as sad as I was, and my sister just boo-hooed, and I felt bad. Like, I should have warned security that Sarah and I were going to cry when we saw him, because he's been a part of our lives our whole life.
Yeah. Family friend?
Yeah.
Family friend.
Yeah. So it's just, but at the same time, I had a lady last night ask me, how do you do this every day? And her loved one who had died, I was like, but I know her, so I can take care of her. Like, I know her son. I know some of his quirks. I know her husband. I know all these things. So, in that respect, it's an honor, and I am thankful. But Joe, that's why I moved back from Nashville.
Because you'd rather work with families that you know?
Yes, because when I was in Nashville, that was one of the weird parts for me, is that I didn't know any of the families. So I didn't know the people's stories. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know, like last night I went running to the hospital because I knew that their son lives out of town, and I was worried that the spouse was there by themselves. So I went running to I didn't take my hearse or anything. I called people on the way there, just so that, because I didn't know who was with him, and the hospital couldn't tell me at that moment. The others hadn't gotten there yet, so I was just worried about him being there by himself.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of stuff that matters to me, and that's why I moved home, because I wanted to be able to take care of people that I know. That's what matters to me.
Yeah. In Nashville, it would seem like such a big city. It seemed not that it's not a job, but it seems more like it's just a job
right.
type thing. Like,
it was.
Not that you don't care, but you know the people here.
But when you're from a small
town
and you know everybody, and like
it's more than just a job.
Yeah, I was with your dad last week, and
yeah, he did a funeral for you last week. Yeah.
We were talking about your new bundle of joy. He was telling me all the things.
Yeah, baby true.
Proud grandpa.
I've got to get in the mindset of knowing that I have 3 kids now. That's the toughest thing for me.
That you're a family of 5?
Yeah, So I was like at church on Sunday, and I was talking with someone, and we actually went to a different church because ours was canceled because of the snow. And he was like, introducing myself. I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, this is Jack. He's my oldest. This is Rayleigh. She's my youngest. And I stopped myself.
No,
she's not my youngest. I said, we just had one 6 weeks ago. Sorry, I know I sound like I'm a terrible dad right now, but for the last 5 years, it's just been 2.
Yeah.
So I got to get more like in the routine of saying we're a family of 5, and it's hard because for 5 years it's just been without even thinking. I've got 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to form a new habit. But yes, no. So Dad did a funeral for you all last week.
So but that's and I was saying, we were in the car going to the cemetery, and I was like, remember when such and such, and he and I were reminiscing about the old church on Broadway, and just all kinds of marriages and funerals and all kinds of, and unlocking the church and people getting locked out when it was crossed. We were just reminiscing about old stuff, and that's why I moved home, because I don't get that. I would have gotten to know people, and strangely enough, when I was in Nashville, that's what helped me in my job more than anything. Is that one night my boss called. I worked at a funeral home in Nashville, and one night my boss called me, and he was like, "What are you doing? How close are you?" And I was like, "I'm at home." Why? He was like, "I was like, you don't." At that time, he didn't let me work visitations or funerals or anything like that. I was strictly student behind the scenes.
Okay.
And he was like, "There's some lady here that thinks that you should be here and be in charge." And it was somebody from Danville. And when he had been talking to her, and he said, "Actually, we have an intern who works here who's from Danville." And she, without a beat, she was like, "Is it Ann Yeager?" Because, in her mind, what other female from Danville would be
here
working at a funeral home?
That makes sense.
Yeah, and he was like, and she thinks that you need to be, she was like, "Why isn't Ann Yeager here? Why isn't," and apparently she bugged him so many times, like, "Where's Ann Yeager? Is she coming in? Is she going to be here?" And then when I got there, she took me around and introduced me to all of her other family. And then she would come to me to ask questions, and I got in so much trouble, but it also allowed me to start working visitation. He was like, she acts like you know what you're doing. And I was like, well, at home I do. I mean,
you just don't think I do because this is Nashville.
Right. This is Nashville, and I'm technically a student.
Yeah,
and,
so like you don't think that I know.
At home, my mom would leave me with visitation. Like, that wouldn't be a strange thing. So I would be the person that she would be coming to. And he was like, that's just... And so that's how I directed my first funeral in Nashville, is that it was actually a Danville family.
There you go.
Yep.
Take that, Nashville. Ann Yeager with Stith Funeral Home. If you have any questions, stithcares.com or 859-236-2113. We'll step aside. We'll come back, and we'll play a little Ask AY. Woohoo! Real questions from real people. Coming up next.
Whether you're looking for affordable lunch specials with coworkers or in the mood for a delicious dinner with family and friends, your Danville Applebee's offers dining options you'll love. For delivery, call 859-936-7400. That's 936-7400 for a list of delivery options. Try the new and improved takeout car side to go. Simply order online, schedule your pickup time, and get it in designated to-go spaces. Always eating good in the neighborhood. You'll enjoy Applebee's on the Danville Bypass.
Hey folks, Chrysler Cowboy here. When I started my journey in the automotive industry, learned 3 valuable lessons. 1, have a good product. 2, treat people with respect. And 3, make sure it's a fair deal for everybody. I'm proud to call Anderson County my home, and at Chrysler Lawrenceburg, we want to give you that down-home experience. We offer certified pre-owned vehicles that come with a lifetime engine warranty, free tire rotation with every oil change, and customer service that rivals the best anywhere around. Chrysler Cowboy. If you can't remember that, just look for the hat. It's where you need to be, folks. Chrysler of Lawrenceburg.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Be prepared for what Mother Nature brings. Keep up to date with weather forecasts here every hour on WHIR.
9:50 in the morning. Ask AY.
Hit me.
All right, here we go. We need like a song for this. A theme song. We'll have to get one together.
Not that one.
Here we go. This person says, don't worry, I don't plan on dying anytime soon, but I was thinking that when my time comes, I want to be buried with some of my favorite novels. I know people who have left small mementos in caskets, but I've never heard of books before. Have you ever buried anybody with books, Ann Yeager?
I've buried lots of Bibles.
Yeah, I would think Bibles, obviously. But
lots of Bibles. I'm trying to think. I mean, we buried lots of stuff over the years, so... we made a book one time. I had a family that all the grandkids during visitation, they all wrote letters and drew pictures.
Okay.
And we
put those in the casket?
We actually ended up laminating it and turning it into a book.
Mm.
And then we had to take it back out of the casket because the wife was like, "Wait, I want a copy of that."
Yeah.
So they had to run upstairs real quick and make copies of everything before we put it back in the casket.
Okay.
With the grandfather.
Again, this is. I'm not going to say standard, but you all will do whatever you can for whatever the family wants as possible.
I buried a really big sword that we didn't know if it was going to fit in the casket last year. I buried just all kinds of...
Okay.
I can't tell you how many dogs and cats, and I buried other people in caskets with people. Like where someone's been cremated, so it's really sweet.
Okay.
No, don't look at me like that. He's making faces.
What?
He's like, what are you talking about?
Figure out how, but you mean cremated?
Right, like where one, like we had one spouse who was the first spouse died and she was cremated, and then when her husband died, like he had joked of where her urn would fit. Was she going to go between his legs or under his arm? Like where was she going to fit the best? Mm-hmm. So literally, their girls came to the funeral home and brought me Mom's urn. And we opened up the whole casket, And we moved Mom around the casket until the girls were happy with where Mom was. And, so.
Here's a question for you.
Yes.
This person says, my dad had a somewhat humorous interaction when he went to pick up my mother's urn from the funeral home. He gave her the name, and they couldn't find her.
Me. Okay.
They even retorted to asking questions like, are you sure that's her name? And are you sure you're at the right funeral home? The funeral was there, so yes, they were at the right funeral home. Multiple employees rushing from room to room down the corridor, occasionally peeking to see if he was still there, looking annoyed with him like he was the one that caused the problem. They eventually did find her and hand her off. Dad thinks that she was hiding. I love the idea of the urn rolling just out of the view of the workers or hiding behind a curtain. My mother was a natural-born, just jokester. It would not surprise me if she heard the employees say something she didn't like and decided to go get one over on him. Anyway,
and she somehow made her earn.
Yes.
There are strange, I will give you that. There are strange things that
how
happen.
common is this phenomenon? He said, have you ever had a descendant, cremated or not, try to get the last laugh on you?
I have had lots of random things happen that I go, wait. That it makes you know that, the spirit world, God, the universe, all those things are working, because there are sometimes the way things just work out or don't work out that ends up being absolutely perfect, or can't find. I accidentally buried a piece of jewelry on a gentleman, and I was going to have to dig him back up. And then 2 days after the funeral, the daughter found a letter where he specifically asked for that piece of jewelry to be buried with him.
Oh.
She called me immediately. She was like, okay, wait, we're not digging Dad up. And I was like, she was like, she was like, I don't know when he wrote this. I just found it, and it's addressed to me. And she's the one that wanted him dug up.
Wow.
Yeah, she was like, and it's addressed to me, and it says to bury him with it. I feel like she was like, could he have done this from the ground? I was like, know. But she was like, it's too very specific of knowing what's going on. She was like, I feel like somehow Dad has sent me a message. And I was like, well, I'm not going to say anything's possible. Yeah. I don't know that we keep everybody in one place. I like to say that we have a little party going on at the funeral home all the time.
Yeah.
With all the ashes that I have for different reasons.
So it's easy. You know exactly where they go.
Yeah, like we have 2 places for the most part where they are. Like they're either here or here. That's it. It's kind of everyone over here is waiting to go in and earn, have a service, that kind of thing. Everyone over here is waiting for other things. Like I have some people who are waiting to go back overseas. I have, I just had somebody who was waiting to go up north. I have, all kinds of different reasons that I have people. So, I wouldn't say though, I wouldn't put it past someone's spirit to be able to to trick a bunch of funeral directors. I mean, I wouldn't put it past anybody. Because I'm pretty sure that some of my friends, if they thought they could pull that off, they would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
They would think that was hilarious, in fact.
Here's another question for you. This person said her mom, or his mom, I don't know if it's a he or she, died from alcohol issues. Seeing her on life support and then in hospice, watching and hearing her die was traumatic.
Yes.
I saw a quote that I really needed to see. The quote was, as her daughter, I loved her. As a human, I hated her. This is, again, what this lady's words are. My family will hate me if I ask them for any help. What are good ways to dispose of remains? They say I no longer want my share of my mom's ashes. So is there a way to dispose of remains? She said they're just too heavy to keep in my house, and I know I'll never heal with them in my house.
Well, you can scatter them on private property. You can, you can bury them. I would tell someone who's struggling like that, I would tell them to pick a place and go bury those ashes or scatter those ashes, because they will know where they are. And grief is very individual. So what works for one person won't work for the next person. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you have to do what works in your heart and in your gut.
Yeah. And last question for you. This is kind of specific. A couple of years ago, my elderly parents passed away a few months apart. They were both sent to the same funeral home, to be prepped for burial in a family cemetery. We had viewings for both in the funeral home before burial, and they both looked awful. Specifically, I remember being able to see how their eyes and maybe their mouth were sewn shut with black thread. Is that normal, or did this funeral home just do a really bad job? I haven't been to a lot of viewings, but I don't remember seeing that before. I just saw another person's post about someone looking like they were sleeping, and it reminded me again of how horrible My parents looked. They said they could see black thread.
So we don't sew anyone's eyes or mouth.
Okay.
There is a suture closure for a mouth if someone doesn't have like teeth or gums or something, but that's interior and you would never see that.
Okay, well this funeral home
that's more like
is not.
That's more like a surgical process. So I don't know. That's the hard thing because every funeral home does it differently. So that's where it becomes hard for me because I don't use any of those.
Someone had asked if they were skin tissue or organ donors, that maybe their corneas were used for organ donation or something.
Because, so like with organ donation, which is a federal law, everyone has to be approached about it, but it is still an option whether you want your loved one to be to donate or not. And after death, they can only take skin, long bones, and eyes, which is it's also hard on the body because it holds me, like they have 48 hours before they have to take the deceased, the person, and they're supposed to be back with us, I think it's in 3 or 4 days. So it can hold things up for days and cause other issues.
Okay.
But, I mean, there's part of me that wants to say it's not great embalming, but it's hard because I don't know any of the other circumstances around it.
You don't know how the process went,
right? And I don't know what I don't know what that funeral home did. So it's hard to say because it's also not a perfect science depending on what someone died of.
And Yeager Stith Funeral Home, stithcares.com, 859-236-2113. If you are ordering flowers for Valentine's Day,
get on it.
Get it done now. Go ahead and get your name on that list because, again, you got Valentine's and the floor is still dealing with other things.
They still
birthdays and funerals and all that.
And all the regular stuff. So you all have a great day and love on your people.
There you go. There's that sad music again. That means my time has come to an end of the Joe Show. Had a blast with you all on this Tuesday morning, and I hope it made the start to your work day just a little bit more bearable. I'm Joe Mathis signing off. I'm back with you tomorrow morning, dark and early, on Danville's one-stop shop for local news, local events, and local voices. The Joe Show, AM 1230 and the brand new 103.9 FM, WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. Until then, God bless. Have a great, fun, and safe Tuesday afternoon as Curtis McPeak's Home Sweet Home leads us home sweet home. Kentucky Sports Radio's coming up next.